Hey guys, Editor Devin here. Just wanted to give you guys a fair warning that this episode gets really chaotic in a lot of segments. I tried my best to lower audio channels when necessary so that it's easier to hear conversations, but it does get pretty bad still. So if that's something that bothers you, maybe just skip to the next section. That said, we apologize in advance and we hope you can still enjoy this fun episode with Koastle regardless.
I'll save this actually.
It's rolling.
This is a good.
They're rolling.
Well, we just one clap for like syncing.
Yay! I like doing multiple.
We think you did such a good job.
Syncing like 17,000 times.
This is the intro.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the I'm Making Podcast, episode 26. We are here today with a special guest.
You know what's gonna be fun? Devin editing all of that with all the clapping noises and everything.
Yes.
It's actually clacking. That's what we were doing.
Yeah.
We were clacking.
Yeah.
Clack, clack, clack,
Actually,
clack, clack.
Premiere has a pretty good sync feature, so actually I shouldn't have too much of an issue with that.
Oh,
Could you
nice.
potentially sample swap it with like real like
Yeah,
clap
with
samples and like make a build?
Oh, I could,
Oh, you know what's funny?
but then that would
make
be
a
more
build
work
into
for me.
their drop that they just made.
That's not in my pay grade.
Now, yeah, it's not in my pay. It's not in my pay grade, which is, by the way, $0 an hour. So
He does everything out
it's
of
more than
love.
me.
I
You
don't
know-
love.
That's
more than me.
That's so hard.
you know what's funny?
I put in 20 hours a week on this podcast, guys.
Just so you guys
love-
know, you're alled to cuss as much as you would like, but you know what's funny? We put a clack sound, like a
Nice.
fan
On
clack.
the
Every time
social
we do like
clips.
social clips.
On the
like,
social
clip
clips.
Imagine it's on the main podcast.
My mom's gonna listen to this,
Oh
and if
my
I
God.
cuss, then she's gonna get mad
Hi,
at me.
and hi.
I mean,
Hi.
wait. Did you ask your mom to ask my mom if you could be on this podcast?
She actually said that she's picking us up at 4 to bring us home.
Oh, okay.
4 o'clock?
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was 2
Time.
o'clock.
Really soon.
That it is.
Can I meet your mom?
Yeah,
My
you gotta
mom
be there
wants
2
to meet
hours
your
early.
mom.
You know what
Yeah.
You
happens?
know what?
is
We should just all bring our moms
They actually
and they can
apparently
just meet
they
each
do
other.
they do like the
Yes.
parent teacher
Dude, you know,
conferences
that'd be
together.
a
Oh,
funny
yeah.
episode.
With our
PTA.
moms?
Wait, no.
Moms are just doing the episode.
What was
Oh,
Where's the
No,
parent?
no
I don't know, but
context.
they made them for Catholic schools.
there? Yes, there
Our
was.
parents had
yeah,
to
there
go.
was
Yeah?
a. What were
Because
they
I went
called?
to Catholic school too.
Yep.
I forgot what they
They're
were
Catholic
called, but it's
school.
like teacher conferences.
Parent-teacher
Parent
conference.
teacher-
And then, oh my
Is
God.
it-
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Parent-teacher conference.
And if your parents didn't go,
There
that's
was-
it. Like,
but
you
was
were a
but
failure.
I
No, but
love-
there was a thing called like PTA or like something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
No,
I
that was
can't-
it.
It's
You
the
got
Parent
half
Teacher
day.
Association.
It's like
You had a half day for like 2 days.
My mom
Yeah.
my mom ran the PTA at my elementary school,
Yeah,
and
she-
everyone hated her.
Oh.
No, but
Yeah, that's how it is.
sorry,
all
sorry.
the moms
they-
hate her.
No,
I hate
and,
them.
and my mom's a very like easy person to work with.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just
she's
like
so
you have a
chill.
lot of like jealous
Yep.
like parents
Yep.
who are like,
Oh.
I don't like the
No,
way
I
that they're
think-
running this.
Because
Like,
they
I mean,
run
to be fair,
themselves.
to be fair though, I've met your mom and she has always been like a put together woman. I would imagine
maybe people were just
other
scared of
people
her.
intimidating.
who saw
Maybe
that
she
was
just-
just
they
like,
were scared.
you're the leader and you're still put together. I don't like that. I need to hate
No,
you now.
no,
I
for
need you
real.
to be
Yeah,
stressed.
people envy that, especially like, you know, when you
Called
lady.
projection.
Yeah.
Ah.
It stresses me out when I have kids one day that I just like you're gonna have to just deal with parent politics.
Yeah.
That just sounds miserable.
dude, wait till you have parent teacher conferences.
Oh my
and stuff.
gosh.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, you
I
guys
are
always
like-
love
if
the
I-
days of parent-teacher conference because that means I didn't have to go to school.
Yeah.
That was as a kid it was sick, but as a
So-
parent it feels like I'm gonna loathe it.
Yeah.
I went to public school, so I don't
I
know
went
about
to
these
Catholic
EPT.
school.
I did go to Fremont Christian School as a private school for like literally 2 years but I failed preschool, so they made me repeat preschool.
How did you
Failed
feel preschool?
preschool.
What did you do? You
I
didn't
didn't
color
listen.
in the line.
I didn't listen, and I
You're
went to
trying
take
to
a
put
nap.
the square in the circle. forward.
No, quite literally.
Failed out. You failed.
No, seriously.
He's actually-
No, seriously. At that point in time, it was very like, if you didn't sit down and behave, that's the issue, because how are they going to make me do that in kindergarten when they're trying to teach me something? And I think the second year they were like, okay, you gotta go, you gotta put your kid on Adderall or something because
Yeah,
like,
they just don't want to deal with it.
no, they really don't. And my parents were like,
fucked up.
hell no, we're not putting him on any
Yeah.
meds. He's too young for that.
Yeah.
And they put me into a public school for in kindergarten immediately, and I finished that in like 2 months. It's just
Whoa.
Two-
2
yeah.
months?
yeah. Well, because here's the thing.
Sounds
Keep in
like
mind.
the teacher was holding you back.
Oh,
Yeah, for
100%.
real, they're haters.
100%.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Name
is like,
dropper.
I just
Yeah, right? Who are you?
Right
Who
now.
are you?
I don't remember.
Who are you? What's
This is
up?
Fremont Christian School, bro. Like, I don't know.
How dare you.
It was. I mean, think about it. Like a lot of kids, they just need the right stimulus to be
Yeah.
able to like get their work done. But if you're trying to make me sleep, that's literally the opposite of
Yeah.
what I need to get my
100%.
brain going.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then that's why when I went to kindergarten, I was like, cool, all these things are in front of me that I actually want to do instead of being forced to go to sleep. And then also at the same time, I was going through music therapy. So I actually I think it was like once a week, I actually went to this like, I don't know, 45-minute drive away. I have no idea where it is. headphones on. I would play games, little kid things.
Interesting.
And like, those sheets with the letters and the line,
Yeah.
the dotted lines.
That was my
Yeah.
biggest qualms with like school growing, because I went to public school
Yeah.
for like elementary through middle school, and then it was in high school I went to Catholic school. And like growing up, one thing I always got frustrated with is like we had one teacher, there was one of all of them, that would let us listen to music when we took tests, and I always crushed those tests. Because when you have ADHD and you have music playing that it is so helpful for you to be able to focus.
I need to study
and
with
do
music.
well.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the fact that they won't let you do that, and like other teachers would get mad, they're like, "You're not allowed to listen to music when you're in college. You can't listen
That's
to music
bullshit.
and study."
Bullshit, they do.
And I'm
They do. You
like,
can't listen to music when you're in college.
No. Remember how high school teachers are like, you shouldn't be doing this because college professors aren't going to be relaxed.
They're
That
liars.
was the
But then when you
biggest
go
lie.
to college, such fucking bullshit.
lied to us.
They were so
Such
relaxed.
bullshit. They're
Oh
just
my
math
gosh.
haters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will recognize that there are some classes where they're like, okay, cool. As we got older, at least our age range and whatnot, iPhones and all this shit could like totally give you the answers, so they
Yeah.
can't risk that.
Yeah.
But you
Dude,
could-
a lot of my college professors are like, we know you guys are gonna cheat, so just everything's open book. That's how my professors were.
Yeah,
some
they
of
just
my
want us to
classes
get
were
through
like
college.
that.
That's why they understand. They get it.
No, but
you
I
know?
also remember, like, on my last year, ChatGPT was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you,
were you
you're
in school
blessed to have
when it
ChatGPT.
was-
I was
She
blessed.
just graduated like last 2 months ago.
Yeah, like May. So like, I remember they would do like they had like this, I guess like. It was like a extension where they would know it's from ChatGPT. But then what I would do, very smart, I
Okay.
would do it through ChatGPT.
Uh-huh.
Don't follow me.
Follow
Don't follow
her.
me.
It's great advice. College students.
This is,
Teacher
not,
advice.
this is not official advice.
You already have your degree. You're fine.
I
We
allegedly,
do not condone any of this.
I allegedly did this. I did ChatGPT, but then I put it through Grammarly.
There we go.
That's
There we
smart.
go.
Okay.
It's actually a really
Spell
smart
you.
life hack.
Right?
You know one life hack I did I've heard of, I never did it, but if you the word count, if you need to get to the right word count, you just do whatever random words you need at the very, very bottom, and then just change the font color.
Oh.
Yeah. To what?
they're-
Or
they're-
you know the spacing when you had to do like actual pages?
Yeah, the double space.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
it all in one line. Make sure it's all just in one line instead of like the weird line
You know,
things.
You put the period, the size 14. That
Yeah.
added like a good half.
Yeah.
That was like a big
I feel like
thing.
they might notice that one.
No, it was like just subtle enough that like people
Oh,
never
yeah?
It's a
saw
small,
it.
yeah.
The one
14
hack-
is just like 2 sizes up above 12.
12,
which is
yeah,
usually
okay.
where you
The one hack I've always wanted to try, but I never had the balls to do it. Scantrons, and then either chapstick or like glue stick or whatever the fuck. You slide it on the left hand side because that's the part that gets scanned when so that's how it tracks like what answer is correct and whatnot. But if there's that layer of like whatever on top of it, that wax on top of it, it doesn't. So I'll just scan it as correct and keep going.
No.
That would be sick, but my biggest fear is it would scan it as incorrect because
Yes.
it couldn't read it.
Yeah. And then you
See,
get a
but that's the
zero.
thing. That's the thing. Then I would just argue like, hey, there's no way I got a full 0.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
That
know?
is- that is true.
Interesting.
Then you have
That's
more
very
time to
true.
study.
Your
and retake
machine's
it.
broken.
Yeah, you retake it. There you go.
Yep.
That's
She's like,
crazy.
why do all of your Scantrons have like a film?
I don't know what you're
on
talking
it?
about. It's part of the machine.
I'm very dry.
I
have eczema.
sweat.
I'm just gonna repeat again. We do not condone any of these.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. This conversation
do the
never
right
happened.
thing.
Honestly,
Yeah.
speak for yourself. I condone ChatGPT, and I'll tell you why. I condone ChatGPT use in college because, like, I mean, we get all of our information from Google or some
Yeah.
source, anyways. And I think people should, like, if you have to write a paper, you shouldn't have to write one, anyways. But if you have to write a paper, use it to get all of your information, but you should have to present on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you
I
can
do agree
give,
with that.
if you can, I don't care how you get information, but if you can give a 10-minute presentation on whatever,
Yeah.
then like, why does it matter?
Yeah.
Teachers,
'cause
listen up.
Ultimately, it's just pulling information
Yeah.
from like
Yeah.
the
Correct
resources.
information,
It's just
too.
saving you time to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
And,
I'm
wouldn't you
also-
argue we're supposed to like use technology to our advantage to
Yeah.
find information, sift through information,
Yeah.
and make decisions?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would agree that I feel. I mean, it's the same notion. I think of like when teachers when we were younger,
Yeah.
were like, you're never gonna have a calculator in your pocket, and then now you have a calculator in your pocket.
Yeah.
Right?
You have
So
the
it's like,
internet in your hands.
why not use it
You
to?
know what I've never used is a graphing calculator.
Ti. yeah.
Bro, those
Wait,
are
if you
so
TI-84?
expensive. So fucking expensive.
Yes, for no reason.
Wait, but but if you turn your phone, the calculator on your phone turns into like a kind of a graphing calculator.
Not a graphing
No,
calculator.
okay, not a graphing calculator, but like
it
a
gets more
complex calculator.
Yeah.
You know what just popped up? When you're in elementary school, you'll type in certain numbers, and then if you put it upside down, it says boobies.
You know, I'll also condone this, like, because we were talking about ChatGPT. I'm a big believer of like, everything should always be collaborative, because like I know that they want to teach you to like be able to do things on your own, bruh.
No, that's bullshit.
Since I've graduated college, I've always had people to
Everything
collaborate
you need
with.
to work with teams.
Holy shit!
That's
like,
how you succeed.
Every business, everything. Now, don't get me wrong. My work, I need to know how to do my work, but at the same time, I can totally ask everyone, be like, hey, can you help me with this?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's a huge thing. I will say, so we both went to TCU, and that was one thing that I did enjoy about TCU was like they really did make you work in groups. As agonizing as that was, that is a huge skill.
It is.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing in life that you do outside of a team, pretty
I
much.
agree.
Yeah, especially
Pretty
like if you have a
much.
business, like, you know, you could be hiring people to help run your business. You have to be
Yeah.
able to work with new people because that's how you're going to grow.
And that's
your
a skill.
business.
That is a huge skill.
Those
Yeah.
were our finals. Our finals were never tests or papers.
It was
they
always
were
group projects.
group project
Yeah.
presentations.
In the moment was miserable.
I hated
Yeah.
it.
Trying to get some like dude who's just at the bars till 3 a.m. to come to a group meeting on a Thursday was
No, but
just,
some of them won't even fucking do the work. You just do it
Oh,
by
yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, or
It
they
was
don't even
terrible.
respond.
Yeah, it's like, what the
Oh,
fuck,
yeah.
bro?
Yeah, like, who are you? Like,
It's
why are
our
you
fucking
here?
I
final.
actually,
Yeah.
I aired out a kid on my peer review because he did that. Because all these kids, he literally showed up to nothing. And I mean, I'm not necessarily one of those personalities that like takes that lightly. And I just ended up having to do all the work so that we did the peer review. And I was like, yeah, this kid sucked. And then
I
he
did that
he
too.
found out. He DM'd me on GroupMe.
No,
and he was
not
like,
me.
he was
Oh
like,
my God.
yo, bro, I heard that you like aired me out like this bullshit, like blah blah blah. I was like, you know what? Do your fucking job.
Yeah, he's an
Like,
adult.
do your
Yeah.
fucking job.
You're a grown adult.
And you won't get aired
do
out.
work. Like,
Yeah.
Did you notice you're the only one in the group that got that response?
Yeah.
And
For real.
I wasn't
I
the
don't
only
know.
one
I don't
who
know if
wrote
I should
that.
talk about this
Yeah,
because maybe
I'm a
they'll
narc. That's what I just got.
Talk about it. Talk
I'm a
about it.
narc.
Talk about it.
But like for like my falls final, I had to do like this group because I was in journalism, so we did PR. We all split into groups to form like a PR agency, and we actually had actual clients. So my client was like a radio station, and we did like all the social medias for them. 2 people didn't really do shit, and then near the final, they were like, so what are you guys doing for the final? We're like, are you serious? Like this whole semester we had a group chat. We had like everything set, and you're still asking questions? They didn't do anything. At the end,
Lame.
it was 5 people. The 3 of us did the whole thing. They had to do it by themselves.
Good. Yeah.
Good.
Wow.
As
Honestly.
they should.
Let's pull up their LinkedIn and see what they're doing.
Probably not even updated.
I hope you're
Give me an
doing
update.
well.
Yeah.
That was shitty of you.
Yeah. Be better.
Hate
Do
to,
better.
I honestly hope they listen and then they're just like, damn.
So you know what? It's a reality
Get
check.
called
They're like still
out.
following you.
Fernando, if you're watching this, fuck you. Okay? It's still fuck you. Do your job. Okay?
Damn. Yeah. I mean, look where doing your job actually got
Hello.
Andy.
I'm on a podcast.
By the way, we have not introduced them yet.
Yeah.
By the way,
So let's
we
stay
should probably
nameless.
have an
We gotta
intro.
carry on. That was the intro. All of this was the intro.
No, we need to
Yes.
introduce ourselves too.
Okay, fine. Go.
Okay, guys. Welcome to episode 26 of the I'm Peaking
We did
podcast.
that.
I'm
Let
saying
me
it
intro.
again.
That's my intro.
Okay, you do it then.
I did it already.
Okay.
Say your name.
¿Por qué no los dos? Yeah, sí.
Okay,
The
well,
taco commercials. Yay.
first off,
I'm Hispanic here, actually.
it's really,
You don't
really
speak any
chaotic.
I know. I'm just kidding.
One time we needed a
it's very
Spanish
chaotic
speaker.
today. You know what? Nand and I are the quietest ones. But we have. Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, you said public speaker, and it just reminded me of like a lot of the group projects I did back in college. I was always the first one to volunteer to
get
present
it.
it.
You get
because
it.
one, no one's gonna fucking do it.
Oh yeah, fuck
no one
no.
ever wants to fucking
You get
do
the
it.
best grade.
Yeah.
You could present D work and
Winning.
it would be like B plus.
Yep.
That was
Yep.
good because there's
Yeah.
nothing to compare it to.
Yep.
Always go first.
Yeah.
That was good
Okay,
advice.
would you like to proceed?
I would like to intro them. Yeah, welcome to the ADHD podcast. Today we have Koastle with us today. We make electronic pop music, very similar to. I mean, at least at the top of my head, listening to your guys' music, Louis the Child, Closey, like very like
Oh, yeah, Louis the
similar
Child
very
vibes.
summery vibes. I love your guys' stuff.
Got
That's a
that
great-
filtered,
Bringing
synthesized, and
the vibes.
Yeah, no, seriously. I was listening to it in the car and I was like, wow, I'm like so so glad that you guys came on because like found you guys at the perfect time, you know, right in the midst of summer.
I'm glad to hear
Did
that.
you turn it off like shortly after?
Yeah, and then I turned it off right after, and I was
Okay,
like,
cool,
yeah, that's,
summer.
I said, that's enough of that. Yeah, back
It's
to
like I'm done being summer now.
Back to dubstep. Yeah.
But yeah, why don't you guys introduce yourselves, your names and everything?
I'm Andy. I am one half of Koastle or Koastle or however you want to pronounce it. People actually have it's not Koastle. I'm making a joke.
Oh.
There was literally like we had somebody come up to me like, dude, I love your group Koastle. I was like, I've never thought in a million years.
Not even
that
Koastle.
that is the one that you would think that it was.
You
but
know
hey,
what? Maybe
whatever.
they just thought of like a fancy term.
Yeah.
Koastle.
I'll take it. I'll
Koastle.
take it. And
With a
it
couple
honestly
lines.
has a nice little twang to it that
Yeah.
Coastal just doesn't really give me anymore. So, but I'm Andy
Koastle.
from Coastal.
Hell yeah.
I'm Brett. I'm also from Coastal.
Nice.
So you guys said
0.51%. Oh, wait,
Whoa,
no, that's really low.
0.51?
What?
Wait, that means you're 0.49.
Yeah.
Oh.
wait, what?
But that's only 1%, so my math is
I can't math.
My math no good.
Yeah, same.
My math no good.
My no good.
Yeah.
Wait, no, you said 0.51, right?
Yeah, but then I
Yeah,
said
that
percent.
Technically,
that's-
51%
Yeah.
of coastal.
Yeah.
But
So
I said percent after.
0.51%.
I have no idea what's happening.
yeah, so I'm 90 I'm 99.49.
In college.
I am Coastal.
Welcome to 99.
Brett is nothing.
Brett just stands there. Brett just stands there and
Yeah,
he
he
just
just
shows.
smiles.
He just
Yeah.
smiles.
Accurate
I
representation
need a
of my
hot one in the
royalties.
duo, just for looks. So he just smiles and looks handsome.
Hi, I'm
Yeah.
Drew.
Ever since I grew out my hair and the
That's
mustache, I
cute.
needed some sex appeal.
The visuals.
I'll
That's
be
what
honest.
Mickey and I are here for.
I'm be honest, you guys just made me think of the hot ones. You know, the chicken wing.
I was
That's
when
what
you
I
said hot ones, I
That's the
thought
first
about
thing that
that.
like,
That's what I thought of.
I'm Thai. I love spicy food like
Oh, me
beyond
too.
all reason.
Not
like
Thai,
you know
though.
the atomic spice that they have.
Yeah.
I've had that. It's
The
not
like
that bad.
the last level.
Is it the last
that
one?
everyone's like sweating?
It's
Yeah.
not that bad.
Would you
It's
ever
really
have the
not.
chip? You know
I
the
wanna
hot
try
chip?
it.
I have had the chip.
Have you guys ever had the hot chip
I
before?
don't want
I've
to.
seen
It
it.
scares me.
Here's my hot take
It's a
on
chemical
spice.
burn.
Yeah,
It's
well,
just a
that's,
chemical
that's
burn.
my thing is like spice. I love spicy stuff as long as it tastes good. It's when you start doing spicy for the sake of spicy and now
Yes.
it doesn't taste good. I'm like,
Yes.
why am I
Tastes
doing this to
metallic.
myself?
I agree with that.
Why?
Because you're
I'm a
probably just tasting
very-
blood at that point.
Yeah.
It
But
just tastes like your
Thai
whole
spicy
mouth
food
is-
is gas.
Because Thai spicy is flavorful.
Yes,
This is
it's
why
so
I
good.
don't like wasabi because it's just trying to like burn.
Yeah.
It's just trying to hit you in the nose. It's not necessarily a flavorful experience. At least not for me.
Yeah.
At least not for me.
No, I couldn't agree more.
And what's that one chicken place that's famous here in LA?
Dave's hot chicken?
No.
I know what you're talking.
Yes.
The
Buffalo Wild Wings.
No, it starts with a C.
Crack Shack.
Starts with a C.
It does not start with
Crack
a
Shack?
C.
No, it's like in
Believe you
downtown.
believe.
It's known for like being the spiciest spice.
I know what you're talking
Wait, is
I have
this
no
is
idea.
this sandwich place?
No, chicken. It's just
Chicken?
straight up chicken. It's
Spicy
Hawaiian
worst
hot
distance.
chicken. Hawaiian, you know Hawaiian hot chicken because you're
Yeah.
from the valley. It's a valley
Wait, are
thing.
you Googling it? What is it?
Spicy chicken in.
Downtown.
Mickey, do you actually remember when Hawaiian hot chicken started?
It's like
Yeah,
it's like famous.
Yes,
I know what you're talking about, and it's also
It's like on.
yeah, right on the. It's
Is
like
it
once
just
she
me, or
says
was
it.
Better at the,
Wait,
the
I'm
car
curious.
ride?
Say the chicken.
I'm curious.
This is the ADHD.
God, I'm sorry, guys. We're so unhinged
We're so
today.
angry right now over Hawaiian hot chicken because it was the
Say the chicken!
Nashville hot chicken.
Not that one.
I mean, that's a
Howlin'
type.
Rays.
Howlin' Rays. That's the one.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's the one I was thinking of.
I've had
Okay.
the spiciest
I
level.
can't believe Hawaiian hot chicken blew up to where they are right now.
There's a second location in Studio
Yes,
City now.
I'm trying not to talk over each other
Oh, sorry.
because people have commented about that. But Howlin' Rays, spiciest spice of ever. Here's the thing: I had one bite. And I'm like, I don't even enjoy this, and it started to hurt my. I got severe stomach pains
Acid.
From Howlin' Race?
Howlin' Rays. All I had was the skin.
Ah.
All I had was the skin, and my stomach started to like burn and sharp pains and everything. I'm like, I can't even enjoy the food.
Yeah.
Like when spice level gets to a point where it's only built to give you a chemical burn.
It kind of makes me want to go try it right now.
I mean,
I
go
don't want to
gonna
get
do
some
it for
after
the
this,
experience?
actually.
For
No,
the
okay, so,
experience?
no. So,
the chicken itself is good. If you don't get the spiciest level.
So recently, I actually just started eating spicy food more often because my entire life, if I ever ate spicy food, I'd always get like a really bad stomach ache after. Like it started when I was really little. Just give me sympathy.
She's the empath of the group. Yeah.
So, and then for some reason, this last year, within the last year, I started putting like I ordered I tried ordering like sugar-free ketchup because I make breakfast every morning and I put ketchup on my eggs, and instead they accidentally sent me jalapeno ketchup, right? But I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Let me try it, right? And it had like a kick to
flexing?
it. Huh?
Is that a flex? You just make breakfast every day just because you got your life together?
No.
Okay.
I'm proud of you for breakfast.
I have made breakfast every morning for the last 3 years.
Hey,
so.
Okay,
Yeah.
good for you. Thanks for the flex. Hey, Nan, you don't eat breakfast. Your life's not together.
That just sounds like you're projecting that.
I am.
I am 100%.
It's funny,
I'm super self-conscious about how much I make breakfast.
You know what?
It's a really big touching point.
At least he's aware. Okay.
But you know what? You can save a lot of money making breakfast every morning.
No, the problem is I don't eat breakfast at all. I think I make more money.
Continuing my story. So I started eating. I started putting that on my eggs every morning, and it's got like a kick to it. Like it's actually pretty spicy. And so I noticed that like. So I noticed that when I was eating like I started eating like some other spicy food. A lot of times when I would eat it before, it'd be like by accident, right? And so that happened a couple more times, and I was like, shit, I ate like something spicy. Like I'm gonna have a stomachache later.
Shit.
And then I didn't get it, and then I was like, oh, this is interesting. So then I just kept, just kept like pushing it and pushing it, and like we went to Wingstop, and I got like the second spiciest like flavor, and I was just like. And then all of a sudden now my stomach can handle it. I don't get stomach aches anymore.
Devin.
I can literally eat it on an empty stomach. And
I'm
it'll be
proud of
fine.
you.
Thank you, Instacart driver, for
and I looked it up.
delivering hot ketchup.
I looked it up on ChatGPT. I'm like, can you train your stomach to like handle spice?
You can.
Yeah, and apparently you can. Like your stomach will just start like secreting like the proper enzymes to break it down or something like that.
I think that's why like a lot of people, like at least Asian parents I know for sure, they always like try to eat spicy to their kids.
Filipinos don't do spicy.
Because there's gonna be that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I've always said it is just a tolerance thing. Because when I was younger, I wanted to eat spicy food because, to be honest, my dad would eat spicy food, and I'd be like, "Oh man, my dad's so cool. I want to be like him."
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, "All right, I want as spicy as my dad would get," which was not a good idea when I'm like 9 years old. And I was, but you just would keep eating it, and then eventually it just becomes like you're okay with it.
Yeah,
and,
it's a rite of passage.
Yeah,
you know.
it is.
Wow.
So thank you, Dad. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I could eat spicy food because of you.
Hell
There you go.
yeah.
So
That's it.
So much spicy food in Thailand. Like we got the Thai chili. My mom grows Thai chilies at home. Like
I bet you're just like I bet you if I like my level of I could take spicy versus your level of spicy is probably like exponentially different.
I mean, it's the one thing I will proudly pat myself on the back for. So yes, because like I'll go to restaurants and like sometimes we'll go to a Thai place, order for my friends and whatnot, and they always ask like, do you want Thai spicy?
Yeah.
Or do you want regular, regular person spicy?
It's funny because like I've gone to places too, and they'll look at me like, okay, yeah, I'll give you spicy. I look at them, I grab them, I go, I'm not talking my spicy. I'm talking your spicy. And they're like, are you sure about that? I'm like, yeah. And they'll look at me with this like, all right, man. And then they come back and I haven't had too terrible of a time with that.
Yeah.
There's only one time I was in the Dominican Republic and I said that and I immediately regretted it because my entire dinner was just dabbing my face with a napkin the entire time.
kind of want to go to the Dominican Republic now.
The only time.
Did it at least taste good?
Yes.
Was
Oh,
it
it was so
tasty?
good.
Okay.
It was worth it.
Yeah,
But it
has
was
to be worth
definitely
it.
like
Tapping.
I was fighting some demons. They were
Other than the Howlin' Ray experience, because that was like past demons. That was just like I'm done. I can't even eat anymore. It was an Indian spot, Raja's Tandoor back in college, and I was like, I'm gonna just get the spicy one. I can always handle spice. It's not a big deal. 2-3 bites in, and I'm just like drenched in sweat. I'm like, what is happening to my body?
It's kind of a workout.
it's like puberty
Habanero
all over
challenge.
again.
I was losing all of my fluids, just drinking all the mango lashes I could get my hands on.
That was boiling crab actually has given me like after spice shits multiple times.
I was about to say that it's not the going down that's the worst part.
That I never
Spicy
mind.
is coming out.
I never mind the going down. In fact, if it is spicy in my mouth and like going, I don't really mind that as much.
It's the spicy poops.
Yeah, well, no, it's the stomach ache plus the spicy. I think the stomach ache is the worst for me, but that's so. I want to try Howlin' Rays and boiling crab.
Yeah, I'm just talking about poop.
I want to try boiling crab and Howlin' Rays now again with my newfound superpower.
I love
Superpower. Okay.
boiling crab. It's one of my favorite places.
Oh, I love boiling
I have
crab.
never been there. I'm gonna go check it out.
Really?
Yeah.
I just love seafood.
Get the pound of
Good
shrimp. I
hits.
always get the pound of shrimp.
Okay.
It is a little bit of work because you gotta like peel and stuff, but like it's
You know, you got to work hard for the things you love in life.
Dude,
Exactly.
you know what I do? You know what I do? You know what I do? I peel all my shrimp and I don't eat them right away.
Oh.
Like, because I know a lot of people that like they'll peel and then eat the shrimp, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather throw it back in the bag so it gets all the the whole shebang sauce with like the garlic and the spice and everything.
That's some expert mode shit.
yeah,
right
and then
there.
here's the thing: I'm gonna suck the head juices and all that
Yeah.
anyway,
Pause.
so I'm getting a little bit of food.
Pause. You're
You
gonna
suck
what?
the head.
I'm gonna suck the head.
Wow.
Time out. No, but that's some expert mode
Clip
stuff.
it.
Right there.
If you guys like seafood,
Yep. Oh wait.
I have a
Wait.
recommendation. It's called Moon Shadows in Malibu.
Oh, I've heard of that.
It's so good. Like I think they're like
Is
the
that
top
on the
seafood.
beach?
It's on the beach.
Yeah.
And you're able to like sit outside and you could see like the entire like coastline and the seafood.
with Koastle.
With Koastle.
With Koastle.
You guys should do a music video there.
I will say every time that I pass by anything that says like coast, I always will take a video of it and I'll go, what's up?
You should make that like a TikTok series.
That's a good idea. Right.
Please
My
don't
manager's
give him
probably
that
listening
idea.
to this right now. He's like, write that down.
Yeah. But do you guys like play on TikTok like that? Because like using TikTok as a marketing tool. Oh my god. Tool.
There we
Tool
go.
for your music. It's like it's great.
To be honest, like I think we're trying to like figure out like how to really find our voice on TikTok
Fuck around and find out,
there's
bro.
part of it
Yeah,
where it's like
literally.
having fun with that and
Yeah.
like firing off like you see on TikTok there's people that will post just what seems like the most innocuous stuff
Shit
and then
post.
it'll just but it goes crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
I feel like anytime I like think about it, it ends up getting
more you
like
think
30
too hard-
views and then I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
no,
great.
the
Super
more-
glad I
no,
spent 2
seriously.
hours on that.
Seriously,
Yeah.
some of the most like curated videos that I've made for TikTok, and then one where I randomly just record myself and just ask everybody, you got your IDs, you got your phones, your wallets, 300,000 views.
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah.
You gotta have
Yeah.
fun with it.
Yeah.
You do, because I really, to be honest, I feel like it's one of those things where you just keep trying to be calculated and it doesn't work, and you kind of just
Because
go,
then
well, what's the point?
you lose passion for it and people feel that
yeah.
through the
100%.
screen. Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of where we're at now, because like because at the same time, like we're trying to show people our music. I'm trying to show people like what we're working on, what's so special. Like that's the stuff we're like, okay, well, we need to show the music, and then like. I don't know. I find that a lot of people are successful. It's not necessarily that they're showing the music; they're showing their personality, which is a segue
But,
to showing the
Show
music.
your personality, but have your music in the background.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Fun fact, just because I mean, as you know, we're all on social media, TikTok, all that jazz. I've been doing a lot of research and I've been noticing that nobody wants like the picture perfect
No.
curated look anymore.
No.
Like you know how Instagram used to be like you had like pictures and it was like perfectly beautiful. Same thing with TikTok. You have these like beautifully set videos of performances. Nobody cares
People
about
want to
that.
feel like they can relate to you.
Yeah,
100%.
they want to see
So.
the BTS. They want to see the silliness. They want to see authenticity.
They want to get
because-
to know you.
Yep.
Yeah, like just the more authentic you are, the better.
I
It's
feel
kind of
like
the reason we run this podcast.
Yeah,
honestly.
which
Look, we
I
were
think
just
is
talking-
what's
we
so
were
cool.
talking
Yeah,
about
exactly. We
chicken
talk
and,
about
like,
chicken and poop for the
and
first
school.
30 minutes,
Yeah.
and people are gonna be like, "This is good content."
I mean, just to finish that thought about the spicy poops too. Like every time I've gone to Thailand, it's just like I'm enjoying the food so much, but within like the first 2 days, I'm like, I can't enjoy day 3 because I can't leave this.
You're on a
I can't-
cleanse.
I
Yep, it's getting rid of all the
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
juju.
Oh, fun fact for people who travel, be careful with food in general because like the bacteria, the things that are in the food is just
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So your body's not used to it yet. Because like the spice level and the taste of the food was pretty much the same as what I eat here, but how the food and
No,
everything
I
is
could-
grown
I
and
could-
taken care of
when-
over
when I
there
went
is
to
different from over here.
Well, no, when I went to Cancun, like I had like diarrhea.
Yep. Your
Like,
body's not used to it.
I'm
I
so
just
sorry
wasn't-
about that.
I wasn't used
I'm
to
glad
it.
you're still here with us, though.
Thank you.
That's
I
a
feel like-
traumatic
Thank
experience.
you.
Montezuma's
Something-
Revenge is nothing to play around with.
I love that game.
Yeah, it was a good game.
It was revenge. It was so good. Speaking of that, that's a really good excuse when you're in college. Like if you can't make it to class or whatever, just say you have diarrhea. Email your professor.
They can't say shit.
They
Yeah.
can't. They literally. They literally can't.
I feel like something worse than spicy poops are period poops. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yes, girl. I can relate to that. I know what you're talking about for sure.
That is not even comparable to a spicy poop. Let me just put it at that. You're bleeding while shitting.
I'm gonna take your word for that on that one.
Question: have you ever used that as an excuse for why you can't go to class?
Yes. Yes.
Class?
Good. like an exam or
I'm gonna
class
be
or
honest,
whatever.
if I was
should've.
Because what are they gonna do? Hey, give me a doctor's
I would
note.
totally
Yeah,
abuse that. I don't know how y'all do that, man.
I say I'm on my period. I even have a doctor's note where the doctor I don't know what the actual like condition is, but it's when you have severe cramps. And I have that, so I always just send it to my. I used to send it to my.
PCOS.
I don't know.
I think
I don't
it
know,
works
it's a long
for
word.
it works for school, but I do know a lot of girls who have severe, issues.
Yeah.
They still have to go to work.
yeah, which is
It sucks.
Yeah.
this is where I think it's a funny thing about men and women, because women, I feel like their pain tolerance is always so high. Like,
Yeah.
dude, my girlfriend, anytime she gets hurt or is sick or anything, she's like, yeah, I'm fine or whatever. I get a head cold and it's like, I need to lay down. I think I'm dying.
Do you guys
There's, like,
see those
jokes on that.
Do you guys see
Yeah.
those
Oh, yeah.
videos
Yeah.
when guys try period cramps with those period simulators?
Dude, I want to try that thing.
Yeah, I want to get it. You want to get
we
it?
should get it.
Yeah.
Have them try it.
Yes. Oh my god.
Are you down?
And have it on the whole entire
That's good
podcast.
content.
I had
see-
podcasts
yeah,
where I was on my
I was-
period,
I was
and I'm like
done.
Sure.
fighting demons.
This is a monthly
Yeah?
conversation in my household
Really?
of getting like there was that one video I saw on TikTok of like it was like a convention center and
I
like
think you were
and
talking
they
about.
put it on the cop and he was just like
yes.
this sucks.
Yeah.
Like he got to like level 7, he's like this is really bad.
And they're trying to keep it
Sucks.
cool. They're like,
Yeah.
it's no big deal.
Yeah, but
worse
like
than
imagine
ice
that
baths?
But you see
all
them
day,
sweating.
every day for a week.
Yeah.
Is it worse than ice baths?
Oh yeah, ice bath is a completely different feeling. If anything,
Because I like ice baths.
there's no comparison. I love ice baths. So there's no comparison.
I'm sorry,
Was your period like an ice bath?
Did you just compare severe
No,
cramps
that's awesome.
to an ice
I
That's
bath?
funny.
asked if it's worse than ice baths.
I love
I
being
hear
a
you
man.
though because it's kind of like the panic
Yeah.
of like is this ever gonna
And the pain.
not be cold?
No,
Well,
wait,
like
but
the
ice bath
discomfort,
is not
like-
pain. It's discomfort. You're fighting through discomfort. You
That's
know?
awesome.
I feel
It's
like
pain for me in my
Devin.
fingers.
Devin, I think ice bath it has that panic response where a lot of people are like can't breathe all that, but like
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm
saying
talking
pain.
about once you've moved
You know
past
what?
the
How
panic.
much is this period
It's
simulator?
like the pain in your fingers and your toes that like.
I don't even feel that pain when I'm in an ice bath. To be honest.
Yeah, so that is just different than
yeah,
for you.
I
but,
think
like,
well from the people who've explained it to me with like it's like waves of pain and pressure that you just it's
yeah, no, I know. I'm just mean like as a whole like direct pain.
It's only $21.
Oh no way!
I'm just
send me the
saying.
link. Send me the link. Imagine if someone had a knife and they put the knife in your stomach and they're moving it around.
Okay, so it's like when I did the habanero challenge.
no.
Probably,
Yeah.
maybe.
Just shift it to the
Maybe.
front as opposed to the back.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably,
Got
actually,
it.
yeah.
No, because that's what it felt like. It felt like someone put a knife in my stomach and it was just like.
I think it's a
moving
better
around.
comparison. Yeah, or like someone's just playing with your organs. And like they're pushing like
Yeah,
dead kids
but
out.
I think
I don't like
from,
that.
but from what it's been explained, it's like stab. Okay, stab. Hey, stab.
It
And
comes
then
in
Yeah,
waves.
no.
It's like shrooms.
When you think you're done with it,
Stab.
you're just like yeah.
Yeah, like shrooms. Like when you're on shrooms, you know, it comes in waves. Like
Stab.
yeah.
Like, honestly, it kind of made me nervous that you were able to pull that up on Amazon because I feel like it could be here by the end of this podcast, and
Honestly,
we would end up
I
having to do
I wish
it.
Amazon had 1 hour delivery. I fucking
maybe
wish.
tomorrow.
Wait,
Yeah,
no,
maybe
no.
tomorrow.
It's gonna
They
get
have the
there.
Amazon warehouse.
they have 2-hour delivery. Most places don't do one.
Wait, but they do. I've never seen things for 2 hour delivery
There's
on my end.
one in like
I don't get
Sherman
that.
All the time.
There's a
I don't get
Sherman
that.
Oaks Amazon store.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jeffrey
yeah.
Bezos.
Hey guys, we'd like to take a quick moment to thank our sponsor for this episode, Quick Revive.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So post rave recovery, what do we do?
Sleeps.
Drink a lot of water and eat food.
Yeah,
Good food.
Yeah.
it's an important
First thing
one.
I always do, honestly, pho.
Yes.
Fuck.
So great.
Notice
Oh, when it
how
goes
it,
down your
it
throat.
accomplished both things that they said: food and water.
That's
Oh,
true.
Not sleeps. Sleep after.
Sleep
Food coma.
after.
Food
And
coma.
And it's
Food coma.
quality food.
Yeah.
It goes down your
Pho
throat.
is a
It's
really
so
good.
warm.
It's a really good
I'm
hangover
craving
cure.
that right now.
But you know what else is actually a really good hangover cure is there's this product that I carry with me. It is Quick Revive.
Ah, yes.
The man's
And-
So prepared.
I literally keep it in my
Do you have 2
crossbody
of
bag.
them? One
you
for
know
your
what's funny?
girl? 2?
I only have one because I used one already.
No, you know what's
but-
funny? You know what's funny?
You always
I-
gotta have one for
I
your
have my
girl.
bag too, and both of them are gone because I had to take them this weekend at Slander, and then again at Dr.
That's
Fresh.
so
wow.
Yeah, so this is Quick Revive. This is a hangover recovery supplement. There's 4 pills in here, each with their own ingredients. The ingredients are all natural. They're actually on the back of the packet.
Ooh, I love a natural girl.
Yeah, and so the ingredients are Panax ginseng, turmeric, electrolytes, and B vitamins. The Panax ginseng is to actually help your body metabolize the alcohol faster. There have been studies that have shown that. Turmeric is for inflammation, helps get rid of like your headache, all that stuff. Electrolytes to help you stay hydrated, obviously.
Love it.
And the B vitamins to boost your immune system and help you sleep better.
Love it.
Wow.
And fun fact, best time to take it is honestly whenever you want. You can take it before, during, or after. But since he was talking about it metabolizing alcohol, you should probably take it at 2 hours before you go to bed.
Yeah, an hour to 2 hours before.
Wait,
That
but
is
what if,
that is the most optimal time.
Yeah.
But you
What
can
if
take it, whenever.
Yeah, because like, what if you're blacked out? So
Then-
you just
then-
after.
I mean, okay.
Like at time.
I mean, honestly, if you're blacked out, well, then you're gonna have to take it the next day and suffer the hangover for a little bit.
You
Or
better
just have-
remember.
Or have someone like
Shove
give
it down your throat?
Yeah, shove it down your throat.
Honestly.
Sounds a little forceful, but-
or honestly, we are here having this conversation right now. Go ahead and just put that in your pocket, and then
True.
take it before we go out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
actually, if you take it when you start drinking, this is especially the case. Like, if you want your night to just kind of be like a take it easy night, you can take it before because it will help your body process the alcohol faster. So in turn, you would get drunk faster, but then you would get past the drunkenness faster and like, sober up faster. So it's a good way to use that. If you forget to take it the night of, though,
I generally want to try it
You can always take
Yeah.
it the next day.
because I'm not really a big drinker, so I want to try it.
Yeah, you could take it the next day, and if you have a really severe hangover, it's recommended to take 2 packets, actually.
Sick. Yeah, I took it
So-
the night of the event. I have a video of me, like you gave it to me. I have a video of me putting it in my mouth, and I was so fucking drunk. It's so embarrassing. Wait, I got no hungover. I was great.
Yeah, I just want to point out that this really does work, guys. So, when we went to Dr. Fresh the other night, you saw Abe. He was blackout drunk.
It was blackout drunk?
Oh, you left before it happened.
okay.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, Michelle can agree with me, but so my big was blackout drunk. I made him take this at the venue before he went home. I called him the next day. Hey, are you alive? And he's like, yeah. And then he was like, dude, that hangover stuff actually does work. I went to Pilates this morning and I felt like completely normal.
I could see him doing Pilates.
Yeah. And he was just like, yeah, I'm like amazed actually that it
Quick
works.
revive. You
So-
could do Pilates
Quick
after you
revive.
get blacked out drunk.
I mean,
What a tagline.
you're not wrong.
So yeah, guys, go check out Quick Revive. And thank you again so much, Quick Revive, for sponsoring this episode.
Thank you.
And,
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Now back to the episode. You guys have a lot of monthly listeners on Spotify.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then when I listen to your guys' music, I'm like, that's why. That's why.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, sometimes we wonder why. But,
don't put yourself down.
I'm glad that
It's the
it's cool.
frequency. It's the frequency of releases.
Yeah.
For sure, that's helped.
I mean, you guys are.
Speaking of frequency, just kidding.
Go ahead.
Speaking of frequency,
I mean, I was just gonna say, like, you guys are up and coming. Like, it's. I feel like that's a really
you.
cool spot to be
thank
because
you.
it's like you're like right at the like precipice of like the beginning of your journey, and it's like it's in that moment where like you guys start like really building the momentum and getting bigger.
Well, we appreciate that. It's
Yeah.
cool, I think, sometimes too, because I mean, we're fans of electronic music, have been our whole lives. And
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
I think it's funny now being in this spot where you would say we're an up and comer. It's cool to hear that.
Yeah.
We don't look at ourselves like that. It's almost like I'm sure with you guys in your podcast, like this is just what you do because
Yeah.
you love it.
Yeah.
And now you're looking back and you're like, oh man, like people are noticing. And they're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
weird.
our 1 year anniversary is literally in like
2 weeks.
Oh, it will have passed by the
and it-
time this airs,
and
but
it comes it comes by fast, right?
Yeah.
And it's cool, and it almost makes me like think about who are the people that we looked up to back in the day, and when I was like, oh man, they're an up and comer and they're crushing it. I wonder if they felt like we did.
Oh
you
hell
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And that sometimes can be like an exciting and cool feeling. So
Yeah.
I appreciate hearing that. We're thankful. It's,
Yeah.
we're obviously this is our dream. So just
I feel like
be in
it's
the
important
conversation.
to like look back. Like I always like stand on that. I was like looking back, or else because like our mindset is like we might high school or not high school. I guess high school kind of, but like college version of ourselves when
Yeah,
we first started. Like we have opportunities like now on a daily basis.
Yeah.
That, like back then we would be like
every so often.
if I just had that, like I'd be successful, and like now we have that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do anything. Like it doesn't make a difference, or like maybe it does, and we're just so like
immune to it.
Yeah.
How did you guys start? Because like the whole duo thing, there's college,
How we met.
Yeah.
Was like a drunk night.
The love
You're like,
story,
yo,
yeah.
Did you guys meet in the same
your
frat?
name's Brett. My name's Andy.
Wait, was it
It's so hard. It's so hard. I fucking knew it. I called it.
Was it Sigurd?
I swear to God.
It was not.
Okay.
Sigma Chi.
No, come
Pike.
on. That's
Pike.
so. I guess
Fiji.
ours wasn't super.
God.
Ours wasn't
Alpha
super
Sig.
popular. Like Sig Chi is like big everywhere.
Yeah.
Sig F's big everywhere. We were
Teak.
Lambda Chi.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
Which was it was big at our school, but like nationally, it's not.
That's how my
massive.
frat was. I was at Teak UCSD. So
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Teak is really big. Like they have a lot of chapters nationally, but in terms of like reputation wise, I know in SoCal, yeah, in SoCal, like only like 3 of the schools in SoCal have big Teaks, like USC,
Yeah.
and then it was us,
Yeah.
and it was like San Marcos.
Yeah.
Those were, like,
It's
the only
super
ones.
niche.
Super random thought. You know why that is, right? Because like all the fraternities, nationals, all of them, they all started on the East Coast. So they all moved their way to the West Coast, and that's why their houses are so big with the columns and like all the
Yeah.
Yeah,
niceties.
dude, the South
Yeah.
does the frat.
And
don't
then,
play.
and
All
then
the
here on the West
sorority
Coast, the problem with a lot of West Coast schools, I went to UC Davis personally, they just kept opening up new chapters for every other fraternity and sorority you could possibly think of. So the pool of students doesn't change, like now you got like 30 more fraternities and sororities or Greek life, but the number of students is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not that
Yeah,
much
yeah,
more.
yeah.
So like everyone's like stealing from each other. Everyone's competing with, so everyone's only got like 10, 20, 15, whatever people in their chapters.
Yeah.
Whereas like you go over East Coast where it's like a private university and
It's
less
been
students get
established
in.
for years.
Yeah, they get like
Yeah.
30.
You would not believe
Oh.
Oklahoma. Like we just rebuilt ours. Like the year that we graduated, they started rebuilding. But like we'll go to away games like in the Big 12. So it's like Oklahoma State,
It's
like
so cool.
bunch,
You guys
like
are just
huge
Wow.
South
fucking
schools.
football.
And
Alabama's like the biggest one.
Alabama's
comes
crazy.
to
One
Yeah.
thing I regret, is like UCSD didn't really have any of that, and so I could have gone to Michigan State because I'm legacy technically. My dad went to Michigan State. It would have been a big move, and I probably wouldn't be here, or maybe I would. I don't know. Maybe I might not be here now, but that's the one thing I regret is I fucking wish we had football games, and I wish we had like tailgating.
It was a fun atmosphere. I do have to ask you though, like, is it obvious that we met in a fraternity?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm so
You guys are
sorry.
frat guys.
We're trying not to so
Guys, I didn't mean to like stereotype.
No, I get it. No.
But you guys just gave us that vibe.
Listen to how we talk.
But it's not a bad thing.
No.
It's not a bad thing.
If it helps, you're not Chad douchebag.
I've
Like,
only-
you're just frat guys.
I only had one beer today. Like it was light too.
Can you like match me? Get to 3? Like what you doing?
You're at
Exactly. We're
I'm sorry.
We're retired. No, it is funny because I feel like, especially in the world of electronic dance music, that's like almost a dirty word. And I
The
guess
chain smokers, the frat stars.
which
Are
is
they do people consider them like frat stars? Like
I mean,
Used
not necessarily.
to.
Probably
They
used
were in a
to.
Used
frat.
to.
But like, to be honest,
it's like the
I think
artists that like play like there's like groups of artists that are
Yeah.
big in college, like playing the
Yeah.
college parties.
they were really
and they
big
were
when we
one
were
of
in
those.
college. And honestly, I would say that they're like a cool influence because I mean, look, it's
How old are
we
you
are
guys?
who we are. We're both 26.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So
You're
it.
a year
it's-
older than me.
Yeah, we are who we are. Like we, sound like we're, asking for 2 naughty lights whenever you can give it to us.
Yeah,
But
bruh.
the reality is we fell in love with electronic dance music. It's our biggest love, and we want to be artists, and we are artists. And this vision that we've built is sometimes can be, to a lot of people, it's like
Yeah.
counterintuitive. They
Did
go,
you
well, the
guys
Chads, they don't know.
Did you guys go raving in college? Was that a
Yeah,
thing?
like I mean, I was bigger raver when I was in high school, and then I honestly went to TCU just trying to because I wanted to stay in California, and then my dad was like, California's going to be here when you get back. Like, you should do something different.
Nice.
And I decided to go to TCU, tried that kind of that college football experience, like, that whole thing. I felt like that'd be fun. So it is funny that that's how we met. However, we don't really try to get away from that as much as we can.
Yeah.
But, we're frat guys have feelings too. So
Frat guys have feelings too.
It's
Don't
true.
hurt them.
yeah, just because
Don't
they like
hurt
John
me.
Summit doesn't mean that they're jerks. Yeah.
Officer, it's him. He stole my heart. Here's the guy.
Yeah. So
You guys want to hear something awesome though?
Fuck yeah.
What's up?
So when we first met, I DM'd you
yeah,
on
you
Group
DM'd
Me.
me. That's I always hold. I hold that against him. He was the one who reached out. I was the
DM'd
high profile talent at the day.
That's true. We met over TikTok.
Yeah,
Yep.
he slid to my DMs.
Yeah.
You get it. No, but because we had like a PowerPoint of like what's a fun fact, and we both put we were DJs, and so I had been DJing from like when I was 14, and we like met.
You can say it.
We met to like mix. We're like, oh, let's hang out and like we'll just like mess around and like mix and stuff. And I get to his room, and he like had the Tractor S4, which was like the board that I wanted.
That's so
I had like
funny.
the $100 starter one.
I bought it used.
Pioneer for 100.
Right before I left for
it
school.
It was like worse than that.
No.
Like it was like like fully plastic.
I
Like,
still have
it
it.
was
It's
a
broken.
Tractor.
It's broken, but I still have it.
If it works, it'll work.
Yeah.
and I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh my gosh, like you have this is like my dream board. And I just like hop on and start like playing, and I do like one transition, and he was like, yo, what? And he was like, I was like, yeah, hop in. He was like, I'm gonna be honest, like I have no idea how to DJ. And
I just owned this
He just
thing.
had it for like the looks.
he was like, I just wanted to be like a college DJ and like play bars. Like I actually don't know how to play. And I was like, oh, dope. Okay.
Please tell him what I did know how to do.
But he did produce.
You make
Okay.
it, you make it
There
me
you
out.
go. Perfect duo. Oh my
So-
God.
So
Yeah.
I had been making music since I was 14.
Sick.
And
Wow,
I,
wait, so you both started when you were 14?
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
It was meant
And
to
the
be.
producer and the mixer.
But here's the funny thing, like that's how we started, and then essentially he taught me everything I needed to know about DJing. I taught him everything I knew about producing.
Yeah.
Dude can produce me under a table now. This is the best sound designer
When the
in the
student
world.
outranks the master.
It is funny because like how that's how we started, but like Brett is one of the best sound designers I've ever worked with, and now I shifted more towards like because
awesome.
I have an engineering background, so like
Yeah.
I was doing mixing and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and then also like I fell in love a lot with songwriting and like, that aspect of it, and fell in love a lot with like indie music that really inspired me, and I wanted to. So I fell in love a lot with that side. So it's cool because over the years, and we've been working together now for like 8 years. So when you work with someone for that long, we've kind of built these strengths around each other, which is really cool, and like how we work. And it's funny like looking back now because it's like it seems like a very symbiotic relationship, but to be honest, it took so many years of just working and figuring this out, and like
Perfection takes time.
it does, and it is cool like looking back how we met, and like now seeing who we are and like how we are as
Look
artists.
at you
and
now.
it is a fun kind of like thought exercise to just remember where we came from.
Guys, honestly,
I do that all the
That
time.
was so beautiful.
That was gorgeous.
guys have feelings too.
I think with that, we need to hear some of your guys' music because to our audience who might not know who you guys are, like
absolute worst song
When does this podcast come out?
September. So if you guys have
Pen
anything that's
pineapple,
releasing
apple pen.
after September, that would be
Yeah.
prime.
Okay, so I won't
Oh,
show you
so-
a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our next one, but it's coming out definitely before
Next
September.
Oh, before September.
Before September ends.
Okay. Well,
Do
you
you
have a
remember
couple
that?
things you could show us, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I do. Yo soy a little bit nervous.
Oh yeah, give us pretext to like each
Intro.
of these.
Introduce
Each of
everything.
these.
It's not mastered. It's just an idea.
Put the volume
Just like
up all
a
the
Raves
way on your phone
episode.
first.
Is that mastered? Wait, this is a mastered, right?
Are you sure?
Put the phone volume up all the way.
Got
on your
it.
phone first,
Okay.
and then play any random song for a second, just so I can make sure that
But
this
what if it's bad?
Oh, it's okay.
It's just so we can get
I'll play one that's out
We'll
already.
support you either way.
Okay.
This is just so that we can like get.
I love when people are like, "Oh, this is gonna sound so good when it's mixed." It's like this is the 11th version of the master.
I just want to say I really like Paradise, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
really good. I
I
was listening
appreciate
to it
that.
this morning on the way here.
Honestly,
It's
I was
wow.
like, I was telling people like, I love that song, but
self-conscious.
like,
You guys have Wi-Fi?
I didn't think it was gonna be something that
we
like
do have
people
Wi-Fi. Oh,
really,
never mind, it
because
works.
like it's like we do a lot of like kind of more pop.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
We do a
cool.
lot more like
That one's
pop
working.
leaning
Now
stuff a
turn
lot
on.
of times, and we're like, oh, it's like cool like EDM release.
Yeah,
and like
Yeah.
like radio picked it up, and everyone's like, this is my favorite song. I'm like, really? Like that's cool. Like I love
Sometimes
the
the
song,
songs that
but
you have no
Dude.
idea are gonna go
Yeah.
viral. Just go.
Dude,
I was-
it honestly is
Yeah.
mostly that, because any song that we're like, yeah, we're pumped about this, flops, and then everyone that we're
time.
like, let's just put it out, it should
Yeah.
be fun. It's like,
It's like, for example,
super
that
great.
one Chainsmokers song, "Let Me Take a Selfie." it was just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
And then
You'd
it
never,
popped off.
you never
Yeah.
know.
I remember when they came to my school back in college, like my senior year. They came through. They went to Sacramento and they played that, and then all of a sudden they started playing all their other songs. Like, oh, they're more than just trolls.
Yeah.
Let me take a selfie.
Which it's kind of funny because like I feel like that is how they got on the map, and like
did. Yeah,
obviously
that's
that's
absolutely.
like something they needed to like build out of. But like
Exactly.
I guess you could look back and say that was a great plan. Get something gets everyone's attention, and then have really high quality
Isn't
music
it
that
like,
people are drawn
that
to
singer
later.
Joji? Wasn't
Yeah.
he like a meme?
Oh, he was.
And then
Yeah,
he
he's filthy Frank and
Yeah, and then he just
I saw him at Hard Summer last year.
He's an
He's
amazing
an
singer.
artist.
Great.
Yeah.
He is a
I think he's a great
bona fide
artist.
artist,
I think
and
he's a
that's
great
really
artist.
cool.
He just kept playing all around an inflatable penis, so I was just so confused.
Yep. That sounds like him. Yeah.
And you know what?
Speaking of Hard Summer, though,
That's
by the way,
art.
are you guys going to Hard Summer since you guys are here in
'Kay.
town? It's literally tomorrow.
It's
This
tomorrow.
is
Yeah.
this is
I
I
leave
believe
tomorrow at
the
noon.
How dare you?
I literally am only here to come take this picture and
You
film.
know,
like-
maybe you could just like extend, just change flights.
I,
Just go for
I
one
would
day.
love to go.
Just go one day.
I
Convince
haven't
him, Andy,
been.
you need to convince
The
him.
last time I went to Hard
I need to
Summer
go
was
too.
when Porter Robinson played the World's Tour that like shocked the world.
2015.
Yeah,
Dude,
that was,
I was
Wait,
there for
guys,
that.
no,
honestly,
because-
I don't want to go again. That was the like
Hard
best
Summer,
time
but
of my
Hard
life.
Summer's at LA this year.
The
Yeah.
Coliseum.
Deep in LA.
Yeah, this is the first
Deep
time.
in LA.
We'll have to recap on that. I'm interested to see how you all feel about like the
Wait.
distance and if it's
No,
a
it's
cooler
actually
You
venue.
said
like
you were there in
they-
2015?
I was there in
So were you
2015.
there for Cali's green tent
Yes,
set?
I was.
I was
Oh, you
there
were
for
there
the
too?
green tent set. Was
Wait, I
insane.
heard-
So we
I
were in the
heard-
same place,
That's
and we didn't even know.
crazy.
So
That was
Yeah.
one of the
Wow.
craziest moments I've ever seen.
Cinema Luca Lush remix.
I heard that
still
went down
have
in
it
history.
in my
Like
phone.
You know
that
what's
was like
funny?
the
So all-
epitome
like,
of like.
That was my first festival ever.
No way.
Really?
I think that was mine too.
You
It
know
might have been
what?
mine.
We were all meant to be
Because
together.
I always say that
I know.
Nocturnal 2016 was my first. That's what I always say, but I always forget Hard Summer is technically.
Mine.
Yeah, it's technically.
before.
It was the year before, 2015. I was there, and then I remember Above and Beyond was also there.
Yeah.
Dude, it was.
Jeez, that Chris set was
time.
insane.
Mine was Hard Summer 2014. Wave Racer.
Okay,
Jack U.
2014.
Wait,
Jack
actually, I take
U.
that back. 2014 was my first year
R.L.
because Jack U
Grime.
was the one I saw. Because
Yeah.
R.L. Grime, didn't he play
Grime's
after?
He was a headliner that
Yeah,
year.
and then Porter Robinson opened for R.L. Grime then. Because he came back the
yes,
next year
yes,
after.
yeah.
And then
yeah.
Dylan Francis was the big headliner
damn
that
it.
year. 'cause
Yes,
it was
yes,
the
he
I
was
turned,
also
I
there.
turned,
Yeah.
I turned 18 in
remember.
2016, so that's when I started.
Dude, I just remember because like my big took me to see Wave Racer that weekend, and this is back when Wave Racer was like a lot bigger, and he was incredible.
Yeah.
And he was like
I
had one of the
love Wave
small
Racer.
stages. Yeah.
I will always remember that Cali set because I remember it was that time where there was kind of nobody to go check out. So you're like, okay, what do we do? And there was a buddy of ours, mutual friend, was like, oh, I've heard this guy Cali's really good. We should go. Start off, there's like maybe 20, 30 people in the crowd. It's just a small thing. So we're just like going hard, having
He
fun.
was also he admitted he like freeballed the whole set.
Yeah, I guess after
Wow.
the fact,
No
he
idea
freeballed
what he
all
was gonna
set.
play.
And just like next thing you know, I don't know, we're all just, you're having fun, then more people come. It's like maybe 100. You're just like, okay, yeah, people are having a good time. You just feel the same. I don't know what happened, but just next, I don't know if you remember this. So you just look around and the whole tent was just stacked with people.
I heard
We were
about that.
laughing.
And it
we
was
were like, this is
and we were like
insane.
front and center, and I still have videos.
You just
It
turn
was the
around. You're like,
sweatiest-
you
You
turn
know
around,
what?
you're like,
we need
wait.
those videos.
Oh.
If you find those videos, can you send
you
it
have,
over?
I'd have to go through my Snapchat memories, and that is a
Snapchat.
That's the only place Hard Summer exists in all of my shit. Snapchat memories.
Me too.
It popped up the other day because it's around that time. And I
Yep,
remember
yep.
that's how I knew Jack U was the first one because I was a Jack U.
I think
because
this
I
is
remember
the
they brought
first
out
video
Justin
on my
Bieber.
phone.
Yeah.
And
Oh
for
my
their
God.
set.
I remember that.
So
And I
good.
remember, like, I don't know how, but we were already crammed. But when Justin came out, there was like another 30 yards
Yep.
of space because
Yep.
everyone rushed the stage.
Yep.
That was an awesome
What a
festival.
year.
Awesome
What a
experience.
year.
Do you guys miss Jack U? Because I really miss Jack
Yes,
I miss
yes,
Jack
I
U.
do.
I miss Jack
I
U
do.
so
I don't
much.
know what happened between them. Diplo,
Oh, nothing.
Skrill.
Nothing.
Yeah.
They're just over it. Like it
They
was.
just are over. Well, get
I
on over
feel
it.
like
I
feel like I feel like I heard something about there's
Oh.
like just relationship
Yeah,
wise.
allegedly.
I
We don't know
talked-
anything.
Yeah,
I think it's one of those things
I talked
where,
to
like,
someone in the industry recently.
People
and
can
they
have
were-
like a
yeah.
really cool project and they could just decide, you know what, this is just not something I want to continue doing
That's
because like
okay.
it's
Yeah.
a chapter in my life. Or
Yeah.
hey, you're not a shitty person, but it was really hard working with you, so I don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
I think that's why. I think it's just like the
Allegedly.
dynamic.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, I'm not
yes.
talking about them. I
There's
mean
also
just
just,
general
like-
relationships. Like you could like
Damn, I don't
make
have the video
amazing
anymore.
project with someone, but
it's
if you
okay.
just feel like, hey, this dynamic doesn't
was-
work for me.
It was in my.
What
It
I've
was the
noticed
first
too-
picture in my phone. and I think I deleted it to clear space.
What I've noticed too is like
photos.
you think collaborations are because I mean when again as we came up as artists, right? You see these big time collaborations, you're like, oh, I want to collab with my favorite artist.
Yeah.
And what you realize is there's so much that goes beyond this.
Yes.
There's so many. Everybody's
much.
got their own release schedules. Everybody's got their own plans. Everybody's got their own things. So really, it's not even about first you have to make a quality song.
Yeah.
That's square one. Getting in the studio already hard enough. Then you get in the studio, you make something, and then it's good.
Sometimes it takes years for it to be released.
100%.
Like
Politics.
DJ Snake's song Middle. He wrote that years ago, and then it released in 2016.
That's the song Minute that we made 2 years ago. And it's coming out with Kiiara
Kiiara.
Next week.
So,
Nice.
I don't know if I was supposed to leak that yet, but I did. I mean, the podcast
it'll
will be
be
out
by
by
then.
then.
So who
Go stream it.
cares?
Actually,
go stream it.
Go listen to it
You
right now.
better.
But that song is like we had originally started the idea about 2 years ago, and it is funny because it's just. I mean, you got to get the song right. When you finally get the song right, then all of a sudden they're on tour or they're doing this and they got this release plan. You got this release plan, so you really got to find a time.
Yeah.
So I look back now and I go with all those collaborations that honestly shaped how we all listen to dance music. I look back and I go, that's so cool that they were able to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that probably plays into the Jack U thing because I'm like, okay, now you have two of the biggest stars pretty much in electronic. I mean, Diplo and Skrill are both legends.
Yes.
And having to coincide their release schedules, even just being able to get in the studio at that point. Like imagine you're on the tour, you're on the road for 150 shows a day.
Like K5 right now. Like the fact that Cascade and Deadmau5, they did this whole thing.
No, Cascade and John's. Oh wait,
no,
it's
K5.
Cascade and Deadmau5. Yeah.
Excuse me?
Sorry.
I didn't think
Subtronics and John's.
I bring this up all the time because of the Forbidden 4 at Forbidden Kingdom. People want I don't know if you guys know what happened at Forbidden Kingdom. Rain, stage fell apart, blah blah blah. So they had to squish a bunch of artists together to do a back to back to back to back, and it ended up being Sullivan King, Wooly, Excision, and there was one more. I can't
He's
remember.
Gonna get really offended when he hears this.
Oh my god.
Sudden Death.
Yeah, those four back to back to back, and everyone's calling them the Forbidden 4.
Yeah.
And like everyone's like, yeah, let's make it a thing. I'm like, dude, those 4 names are some of the biggest names in dubstep. Music. You really think they're gonna have the schedule? They did that by accident because a stage got rained out.
And that's I think what makes those moments cool. And I think as opposed to like sometimes fans being like, well, we want more of that. It's like maybe we just need to appreciate when that lines up because it really is by chance. And it's in like the story of like how we had Minute like is a good example of what every artist goes through with every collaboration. Like for us, like Kiiara is a way bigger artist than us, and she came across what we were doing. She had an idea that she sent our way, and I mean, they frankly were trying to have that out for bigger DJs, and especially at the time, we were like 80,000 monthly listener. Nobody's.
Can we hear it?
Yeah,
Is that what we're about to listen to?
It's not the unreleased one that I have.
We should hear the unreleased.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay, I'll play the unreleased.
I'm really interested to hear
but
that.
I will tell the whole Minute story because it is a fun story and it does go around like with just how just almost
Collaborating with
lucky
artists.
collaboration really is. And shout out to Kiiara for believing in us because quite frankly there was a lot of because you also have managers that are all being like, well, you need to be collaborating with Dom Dalla.
The managers have a completely different perception.
And I totally understand like their whole job is business and I get that they're the suits that you need suits in whatever you're trying to do, but when an artist does kind of take that step and go, no, I believe in these guys. And it was a cosign from her that ultimately like not many people have given us. And it's very cool of her to really believe in the music and be able to put her foot out there like that. So shout out Kiiara.
Yeah, shout out Kiiara.
She's the best. So anyway, this is not the song with Kiiara. This is a song called Love Letter. It is, I'm not even gonna, it's unmixed, it's unmaxed. So if it sounds like shit, you guys aren't allowed to complain about it.
Quoting Ray Volpe.
So
fully raw, not cooked.
So if it sounds
definitely
bad,
won't be called Love Letter.
Yeah, it won't be called Love Letter.
It was just inspired by ODESZA.
Which is funny because you'll listen to it and it'll have you'll listen to it and it does not sound anything like Love Letter, but I don't know why we gave it just. But right now it's called Love Letter, so it's good. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. Here it is.
Maybe we'll get a vocal. Maybe one of you figure something out.
You can crank that shit.
I'm flying.
I hear birds.
Yeah.
There.
You know how I feel about birds, guys.
I I don't know how you feel.
How do you feel about birds?
Oh yeah, you weren't
Obsessed
there.
with birds.
You don't like birds?
Roman Silver's song, Birds on a Track. Couldn't ask for anything more.
I've literally been on the phone with him, and he'll be like, "Are you near birds?"
All the time.
Tranquility.
Yeah.
Oh yep, I hear him.
I'm meditating.
Breathe in.
I didn't even realize there were birds in there.
I always put birds in all of our songs.
Yeah.
I can see how this is inspired by ODESZA.
Yeah.
It just went from ODESZA to like an AI screen. Devin, what's that 110 at Coachella where we were at with Jai Wolf?
Sahara tent.
Sahara tent. We had the Sahara tent.
Oh, and they have like AI visuals.
Oh, I like this.
That's like our peak Sahara tent.
I mean this in the like
sunset.
biggest compliment ever. This is like Coachella EDM. That's that's like the best.
It's funny, like I remember we watched the Chainsmokers play at Coachella when they first debuted Closer, and at that time, I remember the Chainsmokers. It was around 2016. It's like
They were like big,
they were at the top,
yeah.
and like that for us became kind of the dream. Like we wanted to play Sahara one day. Like that is our goal. One day we will be playing
You guys will
Sahara.
make it happen.
That's it. So
Right down
and this is it.
Coachella. I love this.
This is like the kind of music I listened to when I like studied. I just like this is like it makes me feel like in the zone.
For me, it was always like trance and Above and Beyond. Like I listened to Above and Beyond while I studied.
Yeah.
But I love that there's wubs in it still.
Yep. Can't go a song without wubs.
Oh.
Wait, this outro? Hold on.
Ooh. Damn, I'm excited for when you guys master this, because if it sounds like that already, I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I'm literally
And
working
you're
on the
gonna add
mix
vocals
right now.
also?
Mix.
I
What?
think so. That's the idea. We're thinking the vocals. It's funny because I mean you'll have songs that there used to be this thing that we always need to write vocals because we write all of our own songs. Like
Yeah.
that's a big thing for us. We love to write our own music and
Yeah.
like we love to write with the vocalist. I think it adds our flavor to
100%.
what we do with songs.
And sometimes with vocalists, they could interpret it into their own story.
100%.
Yeah.
And like I think that's a really fun part of the songwriting process for us. But as I've gotten older as a producer, I realized that sometimes you just need to let it be and you don't need the vocal. Or if it is a vocal, it's only a portion of the vocal. Because it's just like there's a
Maybe like ad-libs.
yeah, so I feel like I need to still sit down with Brett and kind of figure out like what it is, the story that we're trying to sell with this. Because if the thing is like if this song feels like vocals aren't where this needs to go, then you know that's a way that we need to develop the song in a way that still is kind of still, because the thing for us, our goal is always to make forever songs.
Yeah.
Our like
Timeless.
yeah, like so, I mean, I think of like the best example of that. If we were to throw on the Tennis Courts remix by Flume, I don't care where you are. I don't care how much time it's spent. That shit still smacks like never
He just
before.
released it this year on Spotify.
And that's where it's like I think it's so cool to have a song that doesn't matter what
he
season.
made that in like what 2014.
People still can't recreate that, which is like crazy.
It's Flume.
Still
That's
ahead
it.
of its time,
Yeah.
and I think that for us is always the goal. And not
That's
now,
good.
obviously, I don't want to sit here and be like every song that we make is timeless. but
that should be your goal.
That is
That's
the
the
goal.
goal.
And like sometimes we hit that, sometimes we don't. But like ultimately, like as artists, like that is our vision: is to create these songs that will stand the test of time, that are a reflection of who we are. And sometimes you can do that without vocals. Even sometimes you can. Sometimes the best songs are the ones that you remember that crazy hook, like. But other times there's these you know instrumental songs that you just still find a way to smack. And I think
this might be so random, but like that's like good life advice too. Sometimes you just gotta let it be. You don't need to. I have an issue with silence sometimes. So like sometimes you can just be silent with your friend or whatever and just exist in the same room.
Enjoy each other's company.
Like
and
you don't
it's just
always need to like things don't always need to be exciting all the time. Life is not a TV show where you see the highlights of the best parts of everyday life. And the same thing with music. It's just like you don't always need a vocal. You don't always need this or that. Like it could just be beautiful in itself.
I think that in and of itself is necessary because that's where you get contrast. In order to have the highs, you have to have the lows.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now I'm sounding like Gandhi right now, but it's like
that's how
there is this level of like, in order to experience what it is to experience a high of something, right? A nasty drop that's just so much energy. There needs to be this down period where you're being able to reset, because if you don't, I mean, I'm sure you guys have gone to sets where the DJ's like fucking drop, boom, 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 and then it just goes into the next, and you're like, by the fifth time around,
hard style.
Exactly.
That's
and
why
you get to the fifth time around, you're like, I need a water.
I appreciate like melodic dubstep sets because like they can go hard when they need to, but then you have like the mellow and the crying and cry bangs.
Millennium, I think, does such a good job. Like we
His
try to
production value.
We try to structure our sets like a story where it has its like peaks and valleys, but like I think Millennium does a really good job because he'll give you the heart. And the Chainsmokers, we honestly took it from them. Their Ultra 2016 set, they would go.
I heard that was a good one.
It was literally a science. The whole set was like, they'd give you they'd play one song and then they'd, after that drop, like go straight into another build, into another heavy drop, into another one.
It's all
and then
calculated.
They'd bring it down and they'd play like their like New York City.
Yeah.
And everyone would sing it, and then they'd play that, and then they'd do it again, and then they'd play what they want, and they'd bring it down and give the people what they want, and then they go do what they want.
I have a really funny
down.
story about how we so it was in college, and I was taking this course. I was also a sports broadcasting major for a little bit, which I ended up dropping and going into business. But while I was doing sports broadcasting, there was a part of it where it was journalism class where they were telling the art of storytelling. And why stories are told the way they are. And it's super funny why, like how, so for example, action movies. When I say this, you're going to remember this conversation. You're going to hate me for bringing this out. So action movies are obviously geared towards the male audience. And it's very like, bam, crazy, bam, crazy, bam, crazy, right? Versus like, let's say more of like a romantic movie, which is geared more towards women.
It's like a slow burn.
It's a slow burn.
Yeah.
You know, when you are reproducing.
Damn it. I hate
men tend to have their arousal cycle as being like very high up, very high down, right? Like once you get there, it's over.
Yeah.
Women, it's more of like, we got to come up a little bit, come down, come up a little bit higher, come down, come up all the way to the point.
No, it is.
But
like
genuinely, and that's the funny thing, like there is a study that, and this is why a lot of cinema stories are told with that in mind, because that's a lot of times how we register arousal and excitement. So I had this idea when we were like kind of young and still building sets. I'm like, okay, well, they do that for movies. Like we should do that for our sets. So the goal for us is to try to like cater to both audiences by having these moments that start off slower, that eventually build like our set. Ideally, if we're playing like an hour set, at the very end of it, we want you to end up at a higher place generally than where we started. Right. Now, in the process of that, we have these moments of peaks and valleys. Yeah. But at the very end, we're still trying to tell this story that has this climactic ending. Yeah. Which is tailored from that like cinema way of trying to tell stories. And we kind of thought that was, and it's funny because it's like, you know, it sounds a little weird being like, yeah, we modeled it after Orgasms, but essentially like that's like the idea behind it, and it has worked very well for us.
We modeled it after. That's the title. Congratulations, you made the.
You just titled the.
Oh yeah, you just titled the episode too.
Yep, I did.
Coastal models their sets after Orgasms.
No, but that's why I really appreciate it when like DJs start their sets with like their little intros. You know how like Millennium does like little dabbles, his little mix of like all of his songs. Yeah, it's just the one where he did Lonely, and then it was the Robin Williams monologue, and it's just so emotional.
It's awesome, and I think it's funny how that science plays into things like music. I'm not trying to sit here and be like, well, we're thinking differently than everyone else, but like that's the idea, and it's funny, and it is a funny little story to kind of tell people.
When you talk about that too, and then now like hearing that and you think back like what were my favorite sets, it spot on. Like the Porter World set sent me through an absolute ringer. Yeah. And I was like fully sober. Yeah. Like it was the end of the day. I had no water.
Same.
Like What?
You know who else does that? Is ODESZA.
Yes, them too.
So I went and saw I went and saw them on their was it their most recent tour.
Not goodbye.
Yeah, the last goodbye.
Last Goodbye.
The last goodbye
that
tour.
show was incredible.
Completely sober, not a drop of alcohol, no drugs, nothing. Like I cried during it. Yeah,
Dude,
when they played
Higher
Ground, was it Higher Ground? And I just remember like I
I
literally had
have
little
chills
tears in my
talking
eyes
about it because I can like remember it.
And
was-
and so Nan finally got to see them at Okeechobee, and it was so funny because I would not shut up about the show all the way up until that point, and then finally Nan went to go see them at Okeechobee.
I was actually
I get it.
I was actually not a fan of them because I saw them in 2015 in like a warehouse in Sacramento, so it was like very like low budget, low like
Not
it was
the
like
same,
meh, you
yeah.
know, like it was like I'm just here, it's not a big deal. And then I'm at Okeechobee, fully sober day. I don't fucking remember 2, 3, whatever. This is a 4-day festival, whatever day it was. And within the first song, I'm like, oh, this is good. This is really good. And my buddy Alex, he was there with me, and both of us were like, we just got to go see because everyone won't shut up about it. And then song after song after song.
It's that same thing you're talking
100%.
about.
You know, what I'm still trying to figure out? How the fuck did like those drummers just pop out of nowhere?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where they come from?
I'm still
Yes.
trying to figure it out because like every camera angle I see, I'm trying
Yeah.
It's
to.
called stage production.
It's a smoke.
They blind you
It's-
with like
yeah.
white light.
Yeah.
And then they
And it's
turn
the
it off
smoke.
and they're there. Yeah.
It's all
Stage
like
production.
stage production and lighting, and they mess with your senses so that you just don't see them
They're
coming.
cinematic production.
Turn the lights on, turn it
Yes.
off,
No.
smoke,
Plus
everything.
music
It's amazing.
production.
And there's a reason why they're all wearing black.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And that's like ultimately, and that right there, like that is what is me and Brett's biggest inspiration. Like
Hell
we
yeah.
want to be able to provide music
Hell
and
yeah.
one day a show that's this immersive experience.
Like live?
both
Would you
visual and
guys ever do
audio.
like live?
Yeah, that's
shows?
ultimately our goal one day. Now, I feel like in
Yeah.
order, like again, like what made ODESZA so great, what made Flume so great was they had these fan bases, and
Yeah.
then they put out those albums,
Yeah.
and then they were able to build that world. Or like I think Porter's Worlds is the ultimate example of what this
Yes.
looks
Totally.
like. Dude, that Porter's Worlds was the first of its kind. It was
Yeah.
a completely different experience that used this visual. You were stepping into this new world that didn't exist.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
ultimately like I feel like
For an hour
especially
and a
in-
half, you were not
yeah,
where
you weren't where you were, and that is our goal. And I feel like that's kind of been that hasn't been accomplished by many artists in the span of the history
I
of
agree.
electronic music.
Yeah.
Because I think there's better ways to get in front of people, and that is ultimately the hardest path. I think to try to create this essentially new experience that's completely unique, and it takes so many years, and we get to be, we get to experience ODESZA and Porter and all of their hard work and how many probably years that it took to get to that point.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I guess ultimately that's our mission. That's our vision with Koastle. While right now it's about these songs and putting it out, ultimately it's about creating the foundation for what one day will be this live show experience that we can take people through that. Hopefully one day you can come to our show sober and cry by
Not
the end
hopefully.
of it.
We will.
Yeah, we will.
That's
Need
right.
to-
We're big on manifesting here. So
Yeah, we really are.
No, we
really
are.
Yeah.
We are.
Well, cool.
Manifest fingers. Woo.
But yeah, on that note, I just want to say that I really appreciate that you guys are taking more of like a methodical, more of like that cinematic route rather than just playing like hype stuff. I think there's like a lot of appreciation that goes into that because I had this conversation with one of our friends, Jan, who's another content creator. We were kind of just talking about like Knock 2 and ISOXO and amazing artists, by the way, right? But they're really playing off like the hype.
Yeah.
The hype of bringing trap back and the hype of, bass house and stuff like that right now. And I think it's really cool that you guys are kind of filling that spot of artists that are a lot more presentation based and a lot more atmospheric. I think there's a large lack of that in the community right now, especially because we're so it's so house heavy right now, house and techno.
Yeah.
So I think that
Like, let's face the facts. House and techno is easier to make in
Yeah.
And
comparison
it's faster to produce.
but
and
easier
it's
to make, faster to produce
out.
than a full cinematic experience.
But it's cool
Yeah.
that you guys are like kind of like brewing this in the background and just building it, kind of like your sets, So
Well, I'm glad
you need to reach that
to hear
perfect
that.
orgasm,
It takes a long
takes
time
time, a
to
lot
make
of
the perfect
foreplay, yeah.
orgasm, right?
I mean, take the note of ODESZA. Like I just pointed out in 2015, it wasn't the best experience I ever had. And then I saw them, Okeechobee last year or this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. And it's
what year
completely
is it?
different.
Like 20 years later, almost 20 years later.
Yeah, and now they're like
Wait.
they're technically
No.
on their like
Wait,
Eight.
The math ain't math.
It sure
bro.
does damn feel like 20 years ago. I'll give you that.
8 years.
But
Yeah.
to that point, though, like, I mean, now, you know, Odessa, because back, they started blowing up, what, like 2015, 2016? And, you know, it's been like this slow, like, hill, valley since then. And now their reputation is
Honestly,
unparalleled. They were
I
nominated
think-
for a Grammy.
I
like,
think it
you
was
know?
genius that they named their album "Last Goodbye" because everyone thought that
was
they were
done, yeah.
they were
I
done.
did,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Genius.
No, it was great.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is they're playing in Palm Springs in September.
Yeah.
Oh, at Splash House. They're playing a DJ set, right?
I don't know if it's Splash House. It's like it's with like some country artists and whatnot.
I want to see
Oh,
one of
what?
their, like, shows.
Really?
It's like
Yeah.
a random festival.
Oh, didn't you say the tickets
It's
were like
like-
$60?
Yeah, it's like on a Wednesday.
Oh,
I would love to go see that.
Yeah,
Oh, we gotta go
right?
check 'em out.
I want to go see
That's
it.
When
super-
is
With
it?
country?
I got a question for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
As fans of the melodic space, when do you feel was like the best time?
Oh, the golden era.
for
2019, Millennium's Ascend.
okay.
That was a banger.
Millennium's Ascend tour.
Yeah.
I, my God, I remember that I wasn't able to make it to his LA show, and I was driving home from work, and one of my friends was like, "Hey, let's go to the San Diego show." I was like, "Oh, it's like 5 p.m. You want me to go to San Diego at 5 p.m.? It's gonna be like a 5-hour drive."
Nightmare.
But you know what? We did it, and it was like the best thing ever because my life was changed after that.
Yeah.
I
That
saw
was
it.
peak.
I saw it twice. I was at the SF show and then I went to the LA show the next
Yeah.
day.
Did you go
yeah,
to
it's
the Billy
just-
Graham Convention Center one? That's sweet.
Like I just
Wow.
feel like
That's-
nothing can touch that era.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think there's something about there was something in the water with
Right.
what they were making back then.
What the fuck was
And
going
it's
on?
weird because it feels like, I don't know, I listen to that and I don't know if that's because it's just so wrapped up in nostalgia for me that
Mm-hmm.
it, because, you know, it's one of those things where it's like all of a sudden now we're like, back in my day,
Yeah.
it was so much better.
It
But
kind of is,
it
though.
really
Like,
does
I'm not
feel like
saying-
there was that love for melodic is
Yeah.
changing. That's honestly like, this is a farther conversation about like kind of why we decided not to go making the
Yeah.
house
Yeah.
route. Cause like, look, there's a lot of people that were in this like future based sound
Yeah.
that decided to go away from that because it
Yeah.
wasn't popular.
Yeah.
And it's funny when we call it future based because it does not feel very future.
It's a dirty
anymore.
word.
And I feel like that's where we decided to stay. We're like, you know what? This is the sound that is calling to us. This is what we want to do. We want to be able to make ultimately what we're inspired to make. And, you know, even if it's this sound that kind of everyone's abandoned, I still feel like there is a future.
Yeah.
There is still a future in future bass.
Oh, yeah.
And it's funny because like I feel like again there's like this connotation when you say future bass. I think of super saws and vocal
Yeah,
chops and
yeah.
this like kind of thing. You're just like okay,
It kind of got it.
Side
got,
chains,
like,
filter wubs.
It literally the Millennium Ascend sound that like everyone kind of just pivoted to.
Yeah.
But
It's cool when he does it. Though.
but that's where I
Yeah.
see these trends. For example, it's like this is how people consume music. There was a time where future bass was what everyone was making, and I remember that being like everyone was doing reiterations of this.
Remember
And
Heaven
then-
Trap?
Which one?
Heaven Trap.
Yeah, that
Slander 2017
100%.
Heaven Trap.
It was such a
time.
cool like time, but then eventually it gets to this point of oversaturation where
Mm-hmm.
everyone's making this stuff.
Yeah.
Then people moved on to like trap music, and then trap was like the thing that everyone was doing, and like it then eventually kind of got to a point where it
Yeah.
felt oversaturated. I feel like we're starting to get to that point with house and
Yeah.
techno now.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
look, there are people that have pioneered that sound and made it crazy and did things that nobody ever thought would be possible within that space.
True.
And then the like cymatics packs drop, and then everybody's like, I can make this too, which like ultimately you can, like with time and dedication, like in YouTube videos, like
Yeah.
the amount of information that we have today,
Yeah.
anybody can make music. And I think that's amazing. It's what it should be. Like everybody has a story to tell, and we all should find a way to try to tell it. Right.
Yeah.
But ultimately what ends up happening because of what's popular, I mean, obviously you're influenced by what's popular,
Yeah.
and you're influenced by the things that you listen to and you think are cool and your friends think are cool. And then it gets to this point of oversaturation, and then something changes that. All of a sudden, everyone starts listening to something new. And that's where like Rick Rubin talks about this. He's like, if you guys know who Rick Rubin is,
Oh, yeah,
like
I
one
know
of those,
who Rick
he's
Rubin
like
is.
creative, just dude.
Yeah.
He's just like the white beard.
4B's talked about it.
Yeah, he's
before
like
on
in the
podcast.
white vest, and he's like, I know everything
Yeah,
about
yeah.
creativity,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But he said something that I loved, and that was people don't know what they love yet.
Yeah.
You need to show them what you love.
Yeah.
And people will be drawn to that.
I love
And
that.
people won't know what they love until they love it.
Yeah.
And I think that's ultimately what we decided to be our calling card when it was like this. There was this time where we saw our peers, going and making house music and firehouse music. And like, again, like if you're called to make that kind of stuff, like go and like make it to the best of your ability. I don't think there's any, like, there's no genre hating here. Like we all love what everybody loves. But for us, that message was to be called to make what we loved. And that was this, Flume and ODESZA-inspired world that we felt just hasn't had its full day in court yet. Like outside of those artists, like we just felt that there's still this place for that
Because
sound.
if you think about it, there's only 2 artists in a way.
Well, even guys that were really popular in that sound a while ago have abandoned it. Like
Lewis the Child just had that one How High blow up on TikTok, and it was like going back to like old stuff.
Yeah.
I love that they've been
People
playing
still-
around with different genres. I love that. What's
Yeah.
that? Do you know what's that album called with the 2 hands and the rainbow? I can't remember.
Here for now.
Here for now,
Great
yeah,
album.
dude. Like I love how they like pivoted to like hip hop kind of, like for that
Yeah.
album, and I was like, dude,
But the cool
amazing.
thing with them is you can always hear them,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I think has been cool as they've been transitioning and doing everything.
1000%.
Have you guys found your sound? Like your unique sound where everybody can recognize the Koastle sound?
I love that question because I think it's yes and no. I think if any artist tells you that they found their sound, then why make art anymore?
Yeah.
That's true.
Because it's like ultimately you should always be trying to evolve as an artist, and there should be new, ideas and things that inspire you to, continue to make music and to develop. But yes, I do feel like there is something that feels like our sonic integrity. There's an idea that we know, yes, this feels like us, or this is cool, but it doesn't feel like us. And I think that ultimately, like, that only just comes from experience. It's really just a culmination of all the little habits and things that we do. Like the way that I think about music and the way that Brett thinks about music, and then the way that we bring that in together. That's what makes Koastle.
You make a beautiful
that.
baby after the orgasm.
Yes. Right. Wow. Okay. We're really sticking with the sex thing here. Yeah.
You had something that I know you were dying to say for a second there.
Y'all took way too long. I forgot it. I'm sorry. Like it's gone.
It was
telling you, the
off of
rambling-
the question that Brett had earlier about the melodic
Yeah, what
era.
was your
and
favorite
then
era?
we were talking about
Age.
Millennium.
He had a
and
question?
then- yeah, we were talking. Huh?
He had a question. He has a question.
It was a millennium ago. Anybody just see what I did there?
It was like what was like the melodic era that we
No,
remember.
the thought came after that.
Yeah, no, and then she was talking about Millennium and then the Ascend sound, and then
I'll remember when
I'm trying to
remember.
backtrack it for you.
I have a different thing too, though.
You have interruption dibs.
September 22nd. It's with Toki Monster, Bob Moses, Guitar and Olan.
Oh, the ODESZA show. Oh, I see.
Oh.
So sick.
That's something
Sick.
else.
That's sick.
But there was a thought that
It
you were
doesn't sound
saying.
like
I
a
just can't
country.
remember what it is now.
No, not at all.
Well, I to answer your question though, I think for me and actually to your point earlier about the whole like back in my day, like that being kind of the nostalgia and you using that as like this attachment to like the music that you listen to. I feel like for me that was definitely my college era.
Yeah.
And like 20
I remembered it.
20. Can you
Unlock.
save it?
The
Please
unlock.
hold on to it. Don't listen to anything I say.
Write it down. Write it down.
Yeah,
Write it down.
yeah, put it in your
Like
notes.
in your notes app, just like write it down.
I want.
Millennium making techno.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, you could put in your notes.
So for me, I got into EDM like 20 like 11 in high school, right? And so I was introduced to like Skrillex, Deadmau5, like the first ones.
Yeah, the OGs.
Then I got introduced to my favorite artist, Zed. And then I just started listening from there. I had a friend like recommend a bunch of songs to me. I got into drum and bass at that time. But it was really college where like my love for EDM like really expanded.
Because
And
you're
I
old enough to go to festivals.
because old enough to go to festivals, but also because just my ears started, I started training my ear to
Your ear
like
was
understand
evolving.
what it likes, right?
Yeah.
So from that era, so I would say maybe 2014 to 2016 is probably like the era I remember the most. And honestly,
I
a lot
agree.
of the artists like back then that I would listen to are like not even super big now. Like I would listen to a lot of like Hotel Garuda. I would listen to Wave Racer, which I mentioned earlier. Do any of you guys know Mickey Valen? Like
Yeah.
I got into Mickey Valen. That like so a bunch of these artists that were kind of more like underground future bass at the time, and that's just what I remember when I think like if I just think of the word EDM, I first go to that time in my life. You know,
I think about future bass.
Yep.
Or like
Yeah.
progressive.
yeah, or progressive house. Those two genres.
And I think a lot of that had to do with like, think about also at that time of your life, you're in college, you just left your like parents' house, like you were experiencing the world for the
Yeah,
first time, and you were able to have, I think this like music is always associated with memories. And I think
Yes.
the music that has always resonated with me the most always is associated with some sort of outward memory that like it locks it in. And ultimately
100%.
like that's like when we were deciding when we were making our music, how we wanted to share that music.
Yeah.
For us, it was
The
like,
time
okay,
you put it out matters.
Yeah.
the
like-
time you put it out and the experiences that people can have with it. And I think that was ultimately because we're like, okay, why are we fans of all the music that we're fans of?
My God, I
because
just got chills.
there's these awesome memories that come along
Yeah.
with it. Like I think you throw on Closer by the Chainsmokers. I am in a frat basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Like all
I'm
of
at
my
parties.
friends.
Oh my God.
There was times where people would play that song 4 times in the night. Like
Yeah.
it was
Yes.
like that was the song. I know it's corny
was
now to
us.
say
We
that,
played
but
it
like
4
We
times.
back
associate
then, it
mu-
was insane.
We associate music with parts of our life. Whenever I hear a song for any part, I think of that where I was in that point of time
Well,
when I heard that
just
song.
I
Yeah.
literally felt my body go back in time, you know?
Exactly.
I will also point out, y'all just reminded me of like, so 2014 is generally when I started listening to like EDM music and like Dash Berlin, you know,
Oh,
yeah.
Dash
Dash,
Berlin.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dash Berlin and
Wow.
just trance in general. I just remembered why 2014 is also important. That's the year Dad died.
Oh.
Your dad?
My dad died in 2014, and I remember telling myself, because I remember going, so I became a monk for like 3 or 4 days, or like a week after my dad died, because Buddhism, all that stuff. And then after that, I got to go back to school. You know, like I just go back to school. It was in January. I go back to school and I'm sitting on my couch like, what do I do now? Like what am I supposed to do? And that's when I was like, I need to live more presently. I need to live, like, enjoy life for what it has to offer. And that's when I started saying yes to everything. Started listening to more music, started going to all these shows and concerts and everything. And that's when I was like, oh, that's when I really allowed myself to like enjoy things.
Signifies your rebirth.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so.
That's what I think music's so sick, man. Because of that
Yeah.
right
So
there.
powerful.
There's this unspoken language that happens.
It's a
that just-
universal language. Like, you don't even have to know what they mean. Like, okay, take K-pop, for example. Nobody knows what the fuck they're saying, but there's such a huge fan base in all different countries.
It's sick.
All I'm
Yeah.
saying is we got radio waves in space. Aliens apparently exist. Let's just send music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Literally.
What's the email? Let me send demos. Try to send demos
Let's
to
just
aliens.
put
info.
Let's just
let's just put a satellite out there that just emits
Dear
like radio
aliens.
waves and
Yeah.
that can exist.
I'm
in
sure we
space.
could just play some Space Laces or something. Yeah, they would get it.
On that note, though, oh wait, actually, you didn't tell what your melodic time period was.
I'm a slander girl, so like slander was like always my shit, and that's kind of what got me into like the melodic scene.
2017.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
2017.
yeah, actually 2017,
Yeah, slander.
2018.
You're the youngest here too, so it's
Yeah.
like it's
I am.
different. It's interesting to see the difference.
I,
Like
That's
I
what's
feel
cool,
like it was
too.
the same time period of everyone, regardless of age. Like you said, how old are you?
25, turning 25.
Okay.
no, but yours is
Yeah.
2019.
You said 2019.
Yours is 2019. You're in the
Well,
midst of college.
We
then,
said
technically, right?
2014
Yeah.
to 2016,
Yeah.
and we're the same age,
Yeah.
and we feel the same way too.
2014 to 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder. I now thinking about it, I wonder if it does come back
It's
to
the
that
nostalgia.
freshman sophomore year
I
of
feel like
college.
it was the years of 2014 to 2019 was like future based and melodic.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
But you were in high school for part of then, right? When did you go to?
I did high school in 2016.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I graduated college in 2017. So mine. That's why I like so heavily associate this. Like my
But
freshman
I
through
remember,
junior year.
I
Just like you
remember
said.
in senior year, it was when Alan Walker came out with Faded. I've heard it on the radio.
Banger.
Yeah, yeah, that was a radio
banger.
song.
Yeah.
I think that's also what got me into
And then
melodic music.
Chainsmokers Roses.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was 2017, right?
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
I remember 2016. I graduated 2016, and I remember 2017 was my first year in LA, and I was
Yeah.
doing a lot of different like
That
shows.
must've been a
I was
fun
solo.
time.
I was soloing a lot
But
of
then,
festivals
like, of
and
course,
raves.
when you were like in
Good
middle
for
school and
you,
elementary,
honestly.
was like
I had to.
I would never do that, and that's a character flaw.
I
But-
kind of had no choice because I moved out here by myself, so I had no one to go with, and I was like, these are the experiences I really want to have. And then I made a lot of cool friends, and
Yeah.
because of those experiences, I'm where I am right now.
Yeah.
Remember when like Calvin Harris
Summer.
Summer feels so close,
Oh,
Zed,
Slide.
so
Clarity.
close, Calvin
So-
Harris.
That was all on the
Now.
radio.
What's so funny about how I grew up, my mom was a very protective mother.
Yeah.
So she would always try to make sure that whatever music that we listened to, we would print off the lyrics before we downloaded them, right?
What?
That was
so,
crazy.
So it was crazy. And shout out mom. I looking back now, I understand where your heart was at, and I'm glad because it kept me from a lot of things, but
Swear
I still
on the
also,
podcast.
when I was like 12, would still
the
see
F word.
live leak videos. So she didn't,
Say the
you
F
know,
word on the podcast.
there's
Say
only
the
so
F
much you
word.
can do. But anyway,
Swear on the
Pandora
podcast.
was a huge app.
Pandora.
Because
because I would be able to listen to music, but I didn't necessarily have to get a pre-approval for it.
Yeah.
And that was when, it started, I went to like my 8th grade dance and they played Pitbull, like, I just wanna feel this moment. And so like, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I love this. And the algorithm led me to Avicii.
Good job, Pandora. Yeah, Pandora was good at that.
That was how it all started.
Pandora is how
Silhouette.
I found out about 7 Lions.
Dude, Pandora Radio?
Pandora Radio.
That hit. They need to bring them back.
That algorithm was, the ads killed it. But outside of that, I mean, like, dude, I remember Silhouettes by Avicii came on and I was like, what is this?
I gotta credit Pandora and I gotta credit Tap Tap Revolution for introducing to certain EDM justice.
Yo, I looked,
yes.
I looked up
Dude,
Tap Tap
classic.
at our last podcast and it's not on the App Store
It's
anymore.
sad. It's sad, like, where, like,
hey, Tap Tap, you want to make a comeback?
Oh,
Tap,
there's
tap,
a market
tap,
for
tap,
you. There's a market for you out there, Tap
EDM
Tap.
Tap Tap?
Yeah.
Let's collaborate.
Pop off.
Let's collaborate.
Dude, I still remember some of the artists I found on the Junkie XL or something, Junkie XD or something.
Yeah.
Dude,
303 is always the
303, I found them off of that.
Like 303, 303.
Like three, like the
Yeah.
yeah.
Shut 303.
That's a dream. That's a dream collab. That's pretty great.
Do the Helen Keller. That song, yeah. No, that Pandora was a huge wave that shaped how I listen to music, and that's how I found electronic music. And then Avicii obviously led to Dead Mouse, and then eventually you go, Bangarang by Skrill, which I remember the first time that came on, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
I remember at first being like, I don't like this, and then I listened the second time, I was like, I fucking love this.
People still use
It
Pandora.
I like this.
I do.
now.
So you know what's funny? I now use it like in a nostalgia thing because those algorithms are still the same.
I don't
Like
know
they
if
have not updated
I don't
it.
remember my password.
I think
Make
I
a
think,
new one.
I think there's probably a
But I
market.
don't want a new one because all my old history
you're
is
right.
I would pull it up right
You're
now,
right,
but
you're
then the song would totally get whitelisted. But like, but like dude, you pop in like a random radio station, like David Guetta radio, still slaps.
So funny.
It's like memories.
I need to log into mine.
I think Pandora probably
Really?
still has a market. What would you guys say is the biggest difference between like say Spotify and Pandora right now? Because obviously those are the two biggest ones.
I mean, obviously, just to be able to choose, and Spotify has so many people, I think. But you know what's
Pandora's
funny?
radio only.
But
It's radio only, but
Yeah.
what's funny is I'm finding that more people, because of the paradox of choice, there's like so many things that you could listen to that I think there is an avenue of people who like when there's something that's like, listen to this.
But then
we will do the hard work for you.
Yeah.
Spotify has released Radar.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do, which I still
Yeah.
think but there's still
but that's
nothing
still
like
very
that.
curated.
Yeah, it's so curated to your taste.
Yeah,
in
whereas
music.
a radio, you don't have to decide, you don't have to think. It's like here you go.
Yeah.
And they expand for
Which
you.
leads me to like, I think that's why there's a lot less actual music discovery today. Like dude,
Yeah.
back in the day, like
so hard to discover music these days.
If
I don't know where to find it anymore.
Yeah.
Like it just
remember
comes.
blogs,
Pandora.
SoundCloud is where
SoundCloud is
was
where you
the
find
OG.
Or like this song is
I
sick.
still use SoundCloud.
Getting on
100%.
this
Oh, it's
song
still
is
alive.
sick was like my dream, and then we got on it finally, and I'm like, no one reads these anymore.
Honestly, MySpace, and you go to like someone's
MySpace.
profile, and they have like their
profile
playlist.
Instagram,
profile song.
Yeah.
is
Instagram has that
huge.
now.
Yeah,
But
I mean they should.
people don't really use it.
Yeah, it's not the same. But
Yeah.
like there was this era, I feel like back then, of like how music was discovered that is bottomed out a little bit, which has been a bummer. And I mean, dude, I remember you'd be able to put something on SoundCloud and the next day it'd have 1 million views.
Yeah.
Like that
era.
TikTok
That's literally
virality that we
why.
have
It is,
now
'cause they've done
was
that
strictly
era.
on SoundCloud. It was so
Yeah.
sick.
That is why Son Holo is where he is right
Yeah.
Dude, no, I was literally about to say
Straight
that. I
up.
remember.
What was the remix that he did that
his
was on
Snoop
Trap
Dogg
Nation?
remix.
Yes, that what it
Dr.
was.
Dre.
Was it still Dre?
The next episode.
Yes,
Oh, that was
that's
the next
how I
episode.
found out.
That's right.
I still feel bad that he had to delete everything.
He did?
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay. So you win the the SoundCloud era, and then how it had to switch because of ads, copyright, a whole bunch of shit. The risk of losing his
All his
entire
old stuff.
Yeah,
It
all
was
his old
getting
stuff, his old stuff.
flagged? Like
Well,
retrospectively?
I don't know if it ever got flagged, but he didn't want to take the risk of losing his account because of all the old stuff that he had made before, like all the
That's
mashups,
such
all
a
the
bummer.
remixes, and it's just like I'd rather just get rid of this and put new stuff that isn't gonna get flagged, and then my account keeps going.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's such a bummer
At
because
least
those
it's
were.
still on YouTube.
Yeah,
Oh
those
yeah,
were
everything's
Yeah,
still
of
on
course,
YouTube.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Trap Nation, Mr. Suicide
Nation,
Sheep,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Liquidity,
Proximity.
NCS?
Proximity,
NCS.
NCS was a big one too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wish
I wanna
that
work
that
with some of these
existed
people, like-
these days. It just doesn't to that same extent anymore. and that's where I think like TikTok is that now, but like it's way on it. It's a visual lens now. So now it's like I get to get in your face, be like, do you guys have 4 reasons why you don't have snares in your drops? This is why. And you're just like, it's so just like, I don't know, shallow versus I think with SoundCloud, it was so much more authentic because it was as simple as
I agree.
New song. What is this? Holy shit. This is insane. That's how I found medicine, dude.
Yeah.
Medicine was insane back in the day.
dude.
Oh my.
And like, that's how I came across his music was, I mean, it was just, like what was that one remix that he had? The Rihanna one.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about.
It was so good.
I don't know that one, but I know he's got some great ones.
Yeah,
Love Lies. He's got a remix of Martin Garrix's. What's the song?
It wasn't Scared to Be Lonely.
Yeah, no, it is Scared to Be
Okay,
Lonely. Yeah, it is Scared to Be Lonely.
He was
I haven't
awesome.
heard. I haven't listened to his music in so
He
long.
has a remix also of the one that's
was it the Portugal the Man remix?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I love how I got
I'm
that.
so
off
glad
that.
you did because I was
gonna say, how did
biggest
how did you identify that from just that?
That feeling when
That's how you know this whole music thing. I'm not lying about it. We don't have a ghost producer here. Yeah.
What were you saying, Mickey?
That's the worst.
No, the
feeling.
feeling when like you have a song in your head and you can't pinpoint what the song is called and it bothers you all day,
Ugh.
but you only know the melody and you don't know any of the lyrics and you're just like stuck with
Gotta
it in your head.
acapella it.
Yeah.
You ever try to acapella that into
You
your
ever tried
Shazam?
Googling it?
Oh my god! You have no
Shazam,
idea
yeah.
how many times I've tried to sing a melody to
Bro.
Shazam.
I would try to Google like, what's the song that has 4 do-to-dos?
Yeah.
Shit.
And then you get it. The best is when you get it. And you're like, oh fuck, this is it.
I would type in the wrong lyrics and they'd be like,
No,
Here.
this is what you meant.
I'm like,
no, this is what I
That's
meant. Yeah, man.
AI.
Google walks so AI could run.
Shazam,
that's not-
Shazam has its ways.
I have a feeling that way of consuming is going to come back. I feel like there's that, again. I think it
I mean,
goes
we
back
could start
to
that. Like, let's reach out to this Pandora, Shazam.
yeah.
Let's-
Like
let's-
why?
Well, we got
Something's
Hot
got to
Drop.
change.
I still use
Or
Shazam.
Hot Drop.
No, sometimes at festivals, if I have signal, I Shazam a song
Yeah.
that like I want.
I do that all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
I have a bad habit of doing exactly that and then never looking at my Shazam again. I had probably had.
Screenshot.
I screenshot it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Big screenshot.
It's still on my phone
camera
because there's a
rolls all the
history.
screenshots
Yeah.
of Shazam.
There's a history. I guarantee you have like three
you look at your
plus
photos,
5
like,
years
pretty
of Shazam songs that I've
Oh,
never
the
gone
whole
back.
playlist.
Yeah. Dude, maybe that's like
Put it on
I'll make
Spotify.
a
Call it the Vault.
Wait, no. I think you call it Shenanz.
Shenanigans.
Yeah. And that would be a killer playlist
My
too.
shenanigans.
Wow.
That's how I
Gosh,
found
the puns that are firing off right now are next level, dude.
Wow.
doing that at festivals.
I love dad jokes. I
Is-
love puns.
That's how I
I'm a
found
slut for a quality pun, dude.
doing that at festivals is how I found Quaiga by Pierce Fulton. Do you guys know that
Yeah.
song?
Oh my gosh.
Amazing song.
I literally remember hearing that with, I think it was Shut Up and Dance. The Chainsmokers played it at Coachella. That was
I
the
would-
first
yeah,
time
I
I
wouldn't
heard
doubt
that
it.
song, and I was like,
Anytime,
insane.
anytime anyone drops that song, I'm just like,
Memories,
oh my god,
dude,
you
just
fucking
straight.
know what's up.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
fucking know
That's
what's
a
up.
deep cut. Or that Kung's, the.
Oh yeah. I know which one you're talking about. I forgot the name of it, but I know which one it is.
Then it would go in that bong dong 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 dong. That was sick.
I don't think we need to listen to any more of your music. You can just acapella.
I could just
it all
you
the
just
time.
sing it for you guys.
But speaking of that, we should.
Yeah, we
should
should because
listen
we got
to-
like 6 minutes left, so
Oh,
we should.
6 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then also we should talk about Hard Summer because I still want to talk
we
about
would
Hard
definitely
Summer.
need to talk about Hard
It's
Summer.
2:20.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
so this-
we
Oh,
do
they-
need to wrap it
they-
up
Yeah.
pretty
Okay,
soon
I'll be
here.
quick. So this is it's not mixed or mastered.
You said that about the first
Also, I
one, but
wanna
it was
hear the
fine.
I have to.
Dave
This is
won't
this is
listen to
this is
this.
the asterisk, right? Like I got to make sure everybody knows. So if they hate it and they're like, "Man, these guys suck," I'm like,
I don't think
It's
anyone-
because the mix isn't done yet.
So wait, so if we're like, oh, this is amazing. Oh, it's already mixed.
Yep. Yeah. No, this is so good. Yeah, it's done.
I want to hear the Kiiara song after too.
Okay, I'll play that one too. So this one, actually, if you've heard our song "Stay Close," this is
I
with
have.
the same guy on "Stay Close." His name is
Okay.
DLG. Dude
Got it.
is the
Insane.
the next Mac Miller, but singing wise, he's so good.
Post Malone.
Okay.
He's incredible. Like one of the best, like the best talents I've ever worked with. He was the first time we ever reached out to someone that like I didn't
Said
have any
yes.
connections with. I was like, hey, dude, I love your music. Like,
Yeah.
can we please work? He was like, dude, I love yours. Let's do it. So
Hell yeah.
that was Stay Close, and then we got back in the studio together and made this.
What's it called?
It's called Strangers. It has his scratch vocal on it right now, so it's not final. Okay. So if he hears this, David, I'm
super exclusive.
David, I am so
the vocals
sorry.
aren't mixed.
I'm so sorry that I'm doing this to you right now, but they're making me play an unreleased song, and it's this one.
Yeah.
So if you have anybody getting mad at,
gun to his
head. Play unreleased.
He's got guns to his head.
Hold on, my Dropbox gets a little bit nervous.
No, it's okay.
Performance anxiety.
Are you shaking as you press play?
Yeah, we've all been there before, right? Okay. I'm gonna crank it a little bit.
I fucking love it already.
Fuck yeah. Then it's final. This is it. This is the one.
Wait, I really love the rawness of the vocals. I know it's not mixed, but I'm digging it.
You know what? I'm glad you said that because that's what I'm trying to convince David of right now.
This is a scratch vocal. And we hate recutting vocals because the scratch has so much emotion.
There's this raw energy whenever you have like a demo that's just so sick.
Some sort of like velvety, smooth, like.
Yeah.
Hurricane was a scratch vocal, the song we did.
I think this needs to be a scratch vocal.
I didn't even notice.
He's peeking! He's peeking! Oh, I'm peeking right now! This is live, people!
It happens every week.
Damn, this is like sexy.
I mean, we're sticking to the sex orgasm.
The orgasm, yeah, you're right.
We're having an orgasm here.
This is going straight on the mood playlist. I love it. It's got almost got like hints of lo-fi.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, super random, but do you guys know how Lo-Fi Girl is now Lo-Fi Boy?
Yeah, this is sick, boys.
I think you should just stick to the scratch vocals.
Yeah?
Yeah. Maybe just a little bit reverb.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm gonna clip this and we're gonna send this to David.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be like,
Hell
hey.
yeah.
This was we sent him a version with like reverb and delay, and he's like, I don't like it. And then so we put it back to this, so that was a dry one. So I think
Maybe
that's all it needs.
just a little bit reverb for just the ambience, but other than that, nothing else.
Just to
I
give it a
agree.
little,
just a little
oomph behind.
Yeah.
It's funny because with songs,
like an undertone.
It's the first 90% is so easy and comes to you so great, and it's like, this is awesome, and then you get to that final 10%, and that's where when artists are like, this took me 2 years to make.
It's like tweak.
It
took a week and then the rest.
finishing
it. It was a week, and then that last 10%.
Because you want it to be perfect.
You do.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: nothing's ever perfect.
Yeah.
Nothing will
ever be perfect. I wish I could go back to my young self and say that, because that was one thing that I always thought was like, we gotta just get it perfect.
Yeah.
But
then
what
it
happens
takes forever.
is you look back and then your songs come out 4 years later, and you
Exactly.
go, I wish I would have just put this out when I made it, because it was such a time and place.
Yeah.
And there's never a perfect scenario. There's never this perfect, God's not going to come down and be like, you need to put out this song now. This vocal is dead. This mix is perfect. Like, you need to be able to draw that line.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to just have faith.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, you can always just make another song.
Yep.
Exactly.
Plus, how you feel in that moment is gonna change.
We know this with our video stuff too. Like we go through the same thing.
And so I don't know. I'd always just be like, just do it. Just put it out. Because just trying to sit back and just think that there's going to be some perfect way and some perfect scenario. It never is.
Yeah.
It's the only perfect scenario comes from when you just keep doing it.
Yep.
And then people like it.
Yep.
That's why this year, just to quickly familiarize with this year for us, we've been doing 4 releases a month.
Wow.
So we've stockpiled. Well, let me
amount.
clarify. It's like a remix, unofficial remix for SoundCloud, and then an EDM song, a pop song, and then we do a 30-minute mix.
That is not the order.
That's just what it is.
That is the opposite of the order.
That's what
actually.
it comes.
Hey, it doesn't need to be perfect.
That's what.
Nice.
Come here.
Yeah.
You get get it.
I got your bag, bro.
That's like how things, but that's been the thing is like we've had so much pressure, like we literally have to finish a song to put it out because we said we were going to do it. And so we've had like a lot of our EDM songs that we just like make and we're like, this is cool. And we put it out and like we'll look back and be like, that definitely wasn't done. But like people were like, oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And we just didn't overthink it.
Our fourth most popular song right now is called Sakura. It's his collab with this kid named Conrad. He's this young talent who's insane out of Chicago. Like he's nobody knows who he is, but they will know who he is because he's an insane producer. And we made that song like so quickly, and we needed to stick to this schedule that we had promised our fans.
Like a week turnaround.
My fat ass just did it again. I just did that.
Oh no!
I'm just gonna hold it.
We're ending it. We're ending soon.
I'm a brave boy. I can hold it. So anyway, that song is like our fourth best performing song, and it was just a complete. This sounds cool. We need to do something. Let's just go with our gut on this one. And I really do. I think you mentioned earlier, like people can feel the authenticity, and they really can.
100%.
When you just kind of just only do it for the music, people can feel that. And I feel like especially as we get, we start having more success, that's something for us that's like we want to always hold on to.
While he's talking.
Oh yeah.
We always want to hold on to that because we got into this to have fun.
Exactly.
We got into this to make music because we love it, not because we want to be standing on. I mean,
be like
cool.
the next
The stages is
superstars.
sick.
That's what we were talking about earlier.
It's all cool, but like it's all nothing. It's all vanity.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like it's just to be able to make music that we believe in and love and share that with people.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love to hear that because I know I've said this to Devin and Bryn, and I think I've said it to Mickey before too. During the pandemic, I took advantage of that time to learn how to produce music myself, and the mindset always was like, if I play in my bedroom on Twitch, great. If I play at a festival, great. If I play just for my friends, great. As long as I get to continue to make the music that I want to make and, feel all the things that I want to feel, express all that I want to express, then this is already perfect for me. It's absolutely
100%,
perfect.
because you'll lose your soul if you're trying to find it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
Holy shit.
Sorry.
I just pulled that out of my ass too.
I will say too, there's a great piece of advice that a professor once gave me was like, give yourself only like when you're mixing and mastering, give yourself maybe like 2-3 hours and then step
Leave
away
it.
from it because if you keep tweaking,
You're not
5
gonna
years
like
later,
it anymore.
You have
100%.
5 years later,
That's actually
it's a
like
different song.
I'll
They'll
tell
get tired
kids
of
that
it.
are like ask us for advice and young producers. I tell them you need to learn the skill of being able to walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that is such a thing. Because look, it's music. It's subjective. You will always be able to find something wrong with it.
Yeah.
There's
And-
always something to improve on.
And
every
how
single
you
time.
feel as a person changes within 2 hours.
Yeah.
You could be in a good mood right now, and then you decide, oh, I'm going to keep working on this. 7 hours later, you're feeling exhausted, or even the next day after getting in a fight with your brother. Well, now you're going to affect this song differently.
And I mean, look, not every Van Gogh painting was Starry Night.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
you don't need to. Not everything's going to be your magnum opus. Just
Dude, you're dropping some heaters right
Adderall, dude. Adderall's a hell of a drug, man.
On that, we do need to cut the cameras real quick because they're both
Overheat.
about to die.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, off camera, we were having a little conversation, and we realized that we started off the dynamic of this conversation talking about poop, and we ended it talking about collective consciousness. So if that is not character development, I don't know what.
We mature.
We just want to apologize for our unhinged.
I do want to add one more thought to that too, because I just think this is really cool. I'm sorry. Astrology, like I know a lot of people, it's a hit or miss for a lot of people, but think about it. Forget about what we think about it, but break it down to again, electrons, neutrons, protons. The light coming from those star constellations at that point in time were coming down and beaming onto Earth, etc.
Created us.
And exactly. So when it's not the light that's directly in, like for example, I'm a Leo. August is not direct. It's when my parents conceived me, and when I was being gestated in the womb and like being created. All those electrons, protons, neutrons had to come from something. So it's like wherever food, what have you, like that those maybe those particular electrons, neutrons, protons all have a memory because that's also what brain synapses and thoughts are. It's just electricity and energy.
If you zoom out with like the whole universe and everything, it all just looks like nerves.
Wait, sorry,
gonna just say
my little nerdy brain. Have you heard about like the gravitational waves?
Yeah.
With the universe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know yet. We have not been able to observe or measure the universe from like I don't know, it's like 40,000 years or some shit after the Big Bang.
Yeah.
But if we can find a way to analyze and measure gravitational pulls, we'll be able to observe the literal seconds after the Big Bang.
I'm just gonna note that our audience was not given any pretext to what we were talking about
Sorry.
off camera, so they're just getting thrown right into the middle of this conversation and are probably gonna be like, "What the fuck is happening?" Sorry, guys.
We're ending it
We're talking about
anyway.
beats, and now we're talking about consciousness. What's going on?
So minute.
Beats are consciousness.
Oh.
Someone's calling you.
Is that the new song?
Oh, it's my manager.
We're
Do you
gonna
wanna
hear,
have
we're gonna
it?
hear all of
Do
this.
you want to have it?
No, do not.
Oh, yeah, wait,
Do
I
not
cannot
have
do
it.
that.
Well,
because
should we
have
just
it.
like finish it right now?
that
Yeah.
definitely is
Yeah,
going
we
to
can
be...
finish. We can play it, and then they can.
I'm gonna
get
play
plugged. You guys can plug your guys' upcoming stuff.
Yeah, so what's
while,
coming up?
while it's
Yes,
playing,
yes,
What's
there we
coming
go.
up?
Okay.
and then we'll outro. Yeah.
There we
Because
go.
he's definitely calling me back. Where the fuck are you guys? Why are you back yet?
Shit.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Sorry.
No, that's it. This has been fun. Don't worry
No,
about
it's
it.
Thank
been
you, guys.
great.
So we'll see you guys at Heart Summer.
Probably
Maybe.
me.
I see you in my dreams, but that's
Oh, yeah, that's
it.
Kiiara.
Really wanted something more, but not this. We've been through all this before. It's tragic. It's become a habit. Got me going bad shit. Where are you? Lost again. You took too long to find me. Is it done? Is it dead? 'Cause I'm over deciding. Are you in? Are you out? Are you with it?
Future bass. There's a little tickle in future bass.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
We need to come up with a collective new name for Future Bass though, because it's no longer Future Bass. We've been calling it Indie Bass lately.
Indie
That feels
bass.
different.
Okay.
Feels new, feels different, feels fun. We're fun and flirty.
Yeah.
Call it what you want to call it.
How do we like that?
Yeah, Indie Bass is sick.
Can we all collectively agree that like now modern sounding Future Bass
Indie bass?
is Indie Bass, and then the stuff that sounds like
If you want to make it happen, it will happen.
cool. Okay, it's Indie Bass now. If you're not in.
Release. What's the release?
Nope, this
Next
comes
week.
out next week.
Hurry up.
Well, by this time it'll be already out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I have a video idea I want to shoot at home.
I'll send it to you
Literally
so you can
today.
do it. I'll send it to you so you can do it.
Yes, please. I'd love to promote it.
If you are, gotta know you're committed. 'Cause if I let you go and leave you on your own, would you tell me that you miss it? Are you in? Are you out? Are you listening?
Can I just say, I am so happy that this sturdy sound is coming back.
Don't wanna
Well,
be
we
so
hope
happy.
it does.
You don't need a hope. You're not hopeless.
Because
It's happening.
I've been wanting it.
Yep.
I'm just happy that you guys came on because I'm happy that we got introduced to you guys because before I had no idea who you guys were, and now I'm like walking away like really knowing who you guys are.
I'm glad. We hope you like us. Yeah.
Not like we all fist bumped like 7 times due to a dad joke.
Are you in? Are you out? Are you with it? If you are, gotta know you're committed. 'Cause if I let you go and leave you on your own, would you
This is
tell me that you miss it? Are you in? Are you out? Are you listening? Wish you called, wish you begged, but you didn't. Don't wanna be alone. If you tell me to come home, I'll be there in a minute.
This is like
I should cry.
this is like one of those random bangers you find on the radio. They just like play that one like random EDM song, and everyone's like, "What the fuck? This is good."
It's not a coastal song without an outro lub. So
I'll be there.
Maybe that's like your signature, the outro love.
it is good. It's something we like to just get it in there.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Guys,
Very
once
nice.
this episode's out, this song will be out.
Go
stream
stream
it like
it.
every
Go
single fucking day. Thank you
stream
very
it.
much.
It's called Minute by Koastle and Kiiara.
Woo!
That was really good.
That was great.
We
And with-
left on a good note.
yeah,
I like
with that,
a lot.
tell everyone what you guys got coming
Yeah,
out.
love yourselves.
Well, so we're continuing our Coast Guard series, which is where we have, like you said, been dropping a release a week. We have our mix series of the first week, then we have an EDM song the second week, a remix the third week, and a more poppy song the fourth week, as
Yeah.
you just heard.
Wow.
So we're gonna be doing that for the rest of the year. So
Hell yeah.
catch us on that. We also travel to all these different locations to actually play these mixes out. So we're gonna go film one of them right now. We have one that we just dropped that's actually us out in the desert, the Imperial Sand Dunes down in San Diego. My voice is cracked right there. So
That one comes out today.
that one comes out today.
Yeah.
So tune in on that. We are also playing shows. We're gonna be planning actually some shows in the fall. We're still trying to figure out the
we
logistics of
gotta
that.
we gotta manifest
Here,
this
right?
actually because we're still in discussion. We are going on tour with no shows, and we have 24 hours to figure out
Oh yeah, okay.
how
So
we're gonna play a show.
So that plan, yes. Okay, so
I'm manifesting
we do,
it. So
we
it
do have
happens.
shows that we are looking to book. So by the time this comes out, those will probably be announced. But
Okay.
You have one here, right?
But the one that he's
Hopefully.
referring to is we are going to be going and leaving for about a month and doing 21 shows in 21 days, but none of them are booked. And we're actually going to go to these different locations and we're going to go basically set up these parties or shows.
Yeah.
Day of
should do it in
there,
your
we're going to be
college
renting.
towns.
That's what
We're
gonna do.
literally going on an
so
RV
Please
to different
record all of
colleges.
this.
Yep.
This is
Yeah.
a whole. This is a whole content thing.
Yeah.
Like,
we're
we're
We
gonna
can make TikToks.
We're
I
gonna
need
like
your whole
show up
YouTube
to
video.
Ohio
And
State
the
on
social
like
clips.
game day at 7 a.m. like tailgate and just be
Yeah.
like, we have
We
everything.
have
let's
USBs, we
play.
have a DJ board.
Do it,
And,
guys.
so we're going to start with that. And then we also have some other dates that we've been talking, but those haven't been finalized. So if I say them and then they don't happen, everyone's like, fuck you. The one that we do have that is coming up September 3rd, we'll be playing Time Night Club opening for Snake Hips. So
Oh, nice.
Wait.
September 3rd.
September 3rd.
Yep.
Can you text us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll absolutely.
We'll
Yeah.
chat.
I mean, this will be after, but we're
Because
gonna go.
I love
We'll-
Snake
yeah.
Hips too.
We'll
so
be making
That's sick.
we'll be making a group chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this podcast will.
I would love.
I need to
would
redeem
love
myself
be
at
there.
Time Night Club because last time I got carried out of the club.
You know what?
wow.
That place does have that kind of. That
It's
It's
energy.
because I bought a table, so I had to drink all the alcohol.
Time,
you know?
there's never a bad time at Time.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm on it today.
Yeah, you are.
That's a
That
wrap.
was-
I say we ended on
That's
that.
a wrap.
Thank
bro.
you guys for having
Yeah,
us. Seriously,
thanks
this was
for
a lot of
having
fun.
us.
You guys are great. You guys are great personalities.
Thank you so much.
So
Did you say we're Coastal on everything at Coastal?
Yes.
Coastal.
Yeah.
Follow.
Go check them
Koastle.
out.
Stream.
At Koastle.
Yeah, at Koastle.
Except for TikTok, we have 2
Koastle.
accounts because algorithm. Yeah. So find us somewhere.
If you try to
Got
spell
it.
it with a C, you won't find us.
With a K. K-O-A-S-T-L-E.
Yes, Coastal with a K.
Yep.
And with that, we didn't even introduce ourselves, but we're gonna outro ourselves. I'm Devin,
I'm Mickey.
I'm Brett.
I'm Andy.
I'm Nan.
I'm Bryn.
and we are the ADHD I'm Peaking podcast.
Yes, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
And
We'll see you guys.
thank you to our Patreons. We appreciate and
yeah,
love
how
you
could I
so very
forget?
How could you forget?
Oh my
I want to
God.
thank the Patreons.
Yeah, no, literally.
Patreons.
Oh my
thank you.
God. Yes,
Thank you.
everyone's name's right
Salute
here.
to the Patreons. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Salute. Yes, thank you. If you guys didn't know already know,
patrons.
we have a Patreon. We post bonus episodes. We have exclusive playlists. By this time, we'll already have had another 4-core episode, so we should have already done a call-in by this time.
Maybe we'll be in our new studio.
Oh, yeah. We are going to be in a new
Memphis.
studio. We should be probably
There.
not after this one, but in the next month.
September-ish.
No, in October.
Just
So
you know,
are we
watch
the
the-
last podcast?
watch
on
the
new
videos
stew?
around
on the
this
old
time.
stew?
You're one of the last.
I think
Yeah.
you're right.
No,
No, we're the last.
Oh,
No.
no, Grant.
We have Grant.
We have
Grant.
next week.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So I don't get a feel
Oh,
special.
sorry.
That's fine.
Cut that out. You can cut that
It's
out.
all good. It's all good though. But yeah. So, anyways, thank you guys so much to the patrons and also just to everyone that supports us. If you liked this episode, please hit like, please comment and
subscribe.
share and subscribe to
Yeah.
the
And
channel.
follow Coastal.
And
do what
Yay!
they said.
Every
And
single one.
if you really like this episode, maybe subscribe to the Patreon. Maybe tell your friends. Maybe take your mom's credit card.
Not even
like,
maybe. Not even maybe. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Commit fraud.
I'm just saying, like we would love the support.
There's
and
where the
then-
asterisk pops up that says
We're
no,
ending
just
right where
kidding.
we started.
Degeneracy. Yay!
More patrons mean more episodes. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And
No, it
yeah,
really
yeah.
helps us out a lot, guys. So
Patrons,
Yeah.
Patreons,
Patrons.
More
Patrons.
Patreons means more episodes, means more things.
Patrons.
Yeah.
This was a very unhinged episode. Could you imagine if we actually did a drink, like a
We're doing
God.
it.
We should
Thank you.
drink.
like a drinking one?
Why didn't we do
That'd be
that?
like a 5-hour episode.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
You
you
can
guys
always
knew
come back.
you guys knew we were glorified frat kids. Like the
Oh,
if
that's
there was-
true.
we should have-
Wait,
there
you
was
know, we should
one-
do our next studio.
No.
You guys are coming
We
back.
should do
Okay,
a
we'll come
bonus.
back.
We should do a bonus episode with them. That means that people have to be on Patreon too.
You gotta answer that. We gotta go.
Okay.
We gotta go. See you in 2 weeks.